Okay, people. We're not live yet, right? Oh, whoops.
Let's throw a fireball before the game even starts.
Fireball! Just because you're being a smartass.
It's already been rolled by Ron.
Good! Good job, Ron. Good to know I can count on you.
Welcome to Dragons.
I love you.
Yeah, seriously. Welcome to Dragons in the Tiny Room. This is Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I am your DM, Synnal. I am a newbie. Please be gentle. But I have my dice and everything in order.
We have Pie Gods, Rons, Div Rose, Poison. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
I'm going to make one of the players give a definition of what happened last session because I'm really like that as I look at something else real quick I just remembered about. Volunteer, go ahead. Person who volunteers gets advantage on the first roll.
So the last thing that happened, from what I recall, we were traipsing around the mansion, wiped out a whole bunch of the guards, saved a couple people from the guards, and once we got done with that, we made our way to the basement because people were trying to break into the house, which we blockaded the door, got to the cellar room, blockaded the door, and then found a really strange magical effect over the cellar door that seems to be repeating itself through this maze-like dungeon that we've been wandering around. We got quite a bit of way into the dungeon and found a pendulum guillotine type trap that we stopped and have stepped through, and that's where we left off.
Yes. There is also one thing to note. There was a very foul odor coming from the T-cross intersection, and as our players went to explore that, they heard moaning and groaning and what sounded like someone pounding on doors coming from that way. But other than that, we are now going to start the session with a little bit of a scenery change.
Hello, Z-Bomb Gaming.
Tyr.
Yeah.
If memory serves, you were the one who stepped through the portal first.
No. I was the last one to step through because I was holding it to the side.
Oh, okay, it was you that was holding it. You had a quarterstaff, that's correct. My bad. Tyr and Torlock, of course.
I was going to say, I thought Torlock was holding it to the side.
So Torlock must have gone, then me, then Aurelia, and then Tyr.
Okay, well then, Torlock.
As far as I was going to say, as far as I know, I was holding the thing to the side with the hammer and letting everybody through, and I was the last one to go through.
Oh, never mind. You're right. I was the first one to mess with the pendulum. So yes, Tyr was the first one through the portal.
Then me, then Aurelia, then Tyr. Torlock.
Lord, make up your minds who's first.
You know what? No, I went first.
All right, anyway.
So today we're
Wayne's
doing
World.
the Abbott and Costello routine.
Yes, Wayne's World. Tyr, you notice there is quite a bit of a change of scenery as your eyes have to adjust from walking down this dark tunnel in which you are now blinded by daylight.
Blinded by the light.
Yes. The first thing that comes to your senses is the sound of seagulls, the smell of the ocean, and you noticed, as your eyes adjust, that you're looking at a pier off of an island just east of Saltmarsh.
So I recognize where I am?
You would actually, give me a insight with advantage.
I'm starting off strong. I got 13.
Wow. Good thing the DC was only 10. You recognize this as the Isle of the Abbey. It is a small island off the east side of Saltmarsh that is very rarely used, as the island is considered to be cursed. A siren was sacrificed here in ages past, in which, after the siren was sacrificed, fishing for Saltmarsh flourished. Other than that, there have been tales of pirates using this as kind of like a second home for smuggling, but also that the island has been cursed by the siren, and that during the night hours, figures, shadows, and shimmers are seen coming from the pier, as well as the only building on the island, a lighthouse that has not been used in quite some time.
I'd like to scan the area and see if there's 2 girls, a guy wearing an ascot, and a stoner with a dog.
Rikes, Raggy.
Unfortunately, you do not see this. However, you do notice that the pier does have 2 boats that could probably fit 4 people in each, tied off at the pier. Now, as everyone else starts popping through the magic portal of Scooby-Doo, you all will see this as well. And like I said, it's
midday?
probably, it's about 3 p.m. now.
Okay.
And it's the summertime, so you got quite a bit of daylight still left.
Right. Is there any indication of living people?
Roll me a perception.
Okay, now I'm rolling like I should. That would be a 19.
On a 19, you can see that there are some bags on the pier that look like they haven't been there for too long. They're not rotted. They're properly tied off. There is a coil of rope around one of the larger bags that...
Hey, we have a magic burst.
Excuse me. Good thing it wasn't a spell. Burp there, and thought I was going to have to stop for a minute.
Speaking of powers, we also have 1 nat 20, 2 no nat 1s.
Yay!
Okay. And like I said, yeah, I will get to your fireball in just a moment. I just kind of want to describe the scenery. The larger sack is of a red hue, and it looks like it's slopped over, and you notice that every once in a while there is a small kick coming from inside of it.
So it seems to be
Trying to
moving.
escape. Yes. Now we're going to roll the fireball. Also, can I have the magic burst dice, please? Can I have the magic burst dice? You're weird. Unfortunately, that is a 2 on the dice. No fireball.
Aw.
So sad.
Here, if fireball were to happen, wouldn't that also trigger the magic burst?
No.
Negative,
No.
because it's a supernatural phenomena. It is not a spell being cast.
Gotcha. One of these days, we have a plot point where all these fireballs come from.
I made one for Loramir.
Oh, you
Or at
did?
least, I should say, the players claimed one for Loramir.
Yeah, you didn't so much make the connection as you let the players have it.
Yeah. I thought it was I thought it was great.
Yeah. I always use from like catapults and stuff like that, but I don't know. But anyway, back to this. Everyone is now on this island. As I said, there is a pier probably 30 feet off from where you're currently at. With a 19, you can tell there is some footprints in the only dirt path that is currently leading from the pier going up to disappearing into the kind of forested area. There's some hills. It's not very well traversed terrain, and then the lighthouse, which stretches up in the distance.
Do the tracks look fresh?
They look fresh-ish, as in
Maybe
there
days
has
old.
been. Yes, They are semi-fresh,
Okay.
like Subway fresh. That's how fresh they are.
Aha.
Not Mentos fresh, just Subway fresh.
I will point
Yes.
this out to the. Are they Altoids fresh?
Yes.
I'm gonna point this out to the rest of my group.
Where are we even?
Well, we're on a cursed isle.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
great.
He just starts out with that. We're just on a cursed isle.
I thought it couldn't get any worse.
Oh, you've never heard of Murphy and his laws.
Who?
I like this.
I thought that was a woman.
Do you drop kick said person?
All right.
All right.
I think we should go investigate that pier because that bag wrapped in rope looks like it doesn't like being wrapped up in rope.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Watch.
It's
Then-
moving. That's lovely.
Yeah, as you watch, it's about every 10 or seconds or so, it looks like something is just kind of real quick jab.
Is there any noise coming from it?
There is no noise coming from it. Just the sound of ruffling from when the bag is being kicked, punched. It's all in your mind.
What's in the
Well,
world?
it's either a person or mighty big fish.
Using
Tank
my
poison.
using my massive brain, does this appear that it would be due to the confinement of a person?
You could not tell. The sack is roughly 4 feet long. It looks like whatever is inside is either setting up or extremely cramped in this bag.
Okay, so it is possible to put something in there that is humanoid in nature. I think we should go check it out, because if it's somebody being kidnapped, we might want to help them. And if it happens to be Eva, well, all the better.
You might give us some
That'd be so
information
horrible.
too.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Fine.
Oh,
We might
head
just need to
forward.
watch for the cops.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to forgive me. I have a penchant to play with my Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
It's his fidget source.
It is.
Torlock, the bag is about 30 feet away from you. You can easily get there just walking up. And
Yep. I'm going to walk toward it, but I'm going to keep an eye on my surroundings to make sure I don't get blindsided.
perception, please.
From both of us, or?
I'll be doing that too.
Anyone who wants to give me perception, give me perception. And I know Mrs. I See All will probably roll a 32.
She better, because I only rolled a 12.
I mean,
Got a passive of 11.
I'll go 15 on that one.
25?
Yeah, Jesus.
It is here.
I have a +7. What do you want from me?
She has eyes in the back of her head.
And on the side, and on the top. She makes a beholder jealous.
Well, of all of us with eyes situation, Tyr shouldn't be the one talking.
No one seems to really notice anything except for Miss Ariel, who, as you guys are walking towards the pier, swear she sees something dart from a tree line about 50 feet to the east of her. And it looked like it was heading towards the lighthouse.
Okay, she's not here to tell us that. Hi, Tay.
Torlock and everyone else who was walking up to the bag, you get up to the bag, and when you get up to the
I'll
pier...
relay whatever I saw. Sorry.
Okay. When you get up to the pier, the sound of the boards creaking makes the motion in the whatever is bagged stop.
I am going to do what I do best. And I am going to mage hand the rope off the bag.
A role you were born for.
Tyr, while you try to mage hand this bag, the rope itself the mage hand itself doesn't seem to have enough strength to untie the knots that are currently keeping this bag closed.
Okay. You also need to roll for magic burst.
I do indeed.
And remember, if you just want to pull it up for yourself, search Net Librum.
Yes. Oh my. What? I rolled a 2.
Yes!
Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry, no, a 12. A 12.
Yeah.
A 12. A 12.
That's
a 12.
still
I'm
super
sorry.
low.
I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
How do you spell it again? I'm sorry.
So I can give this one if you want because it happens immediately.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. It's 12. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Roll 3d10 and tell me what number you get.
Oh boy. 16.
I start casting Mage Hand and pulling up the at the ropes, and from my ears, you guys watch as this black, pearlescent, viscous liquid starts seeping out of my ears in vast quantities, as I am now covered and surrounded by 16 quarts of oil.
What? What is going on with you?
What?
What?
You're leaking.
What?
You're leaking a lot.
I can't hear you. There's something in my ears. Hold on.
I don't even want to touch it. I was going to touch it for a physical joke, but I don't even want to touch it.
Hey, Speedy.
It came
I
out of
would
your
like
ears.
to match.
What?
Hi, Speedy.
You're-
Look at the ground.
No, can't hear you.
I
Mumble,
point
mumble,
at
mumble.
the ground. I will go over and I will grab the front of your head, not touching any of the oil, and push it down.
Oh, I'm looking. Oh, this is strange. Be
It's
careful,
strange.
there's oil all over the ground. I think it's coming from my ears.
It's just strange.
Yes. Yes, it is.
16 quarts of
It's like
oil?
this, or such
Yeah.
idiots.
Hey, Tyr, you're near the ocean.
Yeah. I just
Oh,
became
great. We just
Exxon.
created the ExxonMobil.
I just became the ExxonMobil oil spill.
Jesus. He gets yellow glowing demon eyes. And now he's just leaking oil.
As if Saltmarsh wasn't effed enough. Now their water supply is poisoned.
Well, good news is I can clean this up.
So, get started.
And I cast Prestidigitation.
You just take a magic hand, just stick it in your ears, and it starts coming out of your nose.
Oh, dude, that would smell so gross.
That's what you're worried about is the smell, not suffocating on oil.
But it,
I can still breathe through my nose.
If it's coming out your nose, probably not.
16 quarts of it? You just like...
Like one of those anime things. Go.
Like the nosebleed.
So, as Tyr is leaking oil all over himself, the ground, and it's starting to hit the ocean and leak through the pier, because the pier isn't exactly in stellar shape, it starts leaking on the bag a little bit, too.
Well, I'm gonna pull out one of my shot devices. Oh wait. Well, I guess I'll take a hand axe and cut at the rope that's holding the bag together.
I'm gonna hand you an oily dagger.
Oh, God. That's a new term for blackhead.
That's not just an oily dagger, that's an ear oil dagger.
You know.
Keep that in mind, it came from his frickin' ears.
Thanks, I think.
Glad to help.
Tyr, was this what your brain was supposed to be?
What?
Was all this what your brain's supposed to be?
You're still kind of muffled. Hold on.
Oh, screw you, Tyr.
He has
He's
oil in
licking
his
brain
ears.
lubricant.
I'm going to assume it takes some time for 16 quarts to finish leaking out of my ears.
Yes.
Probably.
I'm actually going to say it's going to take quite some time. 10 minutes, maybe? Out
Okay.
of 2 holes?
Okay.
Yeah, that's... I mean, think of it. They put 4 quarts in a car.
Okay.
4 or 5.
We'll say
Yeah,
that
5 minutes, sure, for
Yes.
8
we're gonna
Um,
meet you halfway and say about 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And of course, as this is happening and whatnot, Torlock, you go to start hacking at these ropes, and you can just tell they were extremely tied. Like, I mean, they are knotted. Whoever did this probably has some mariner experience, because the amount of knots in this rope and how they are tied would remind you of how they do.
Sort of sailors, knots, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Rigging and the like.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say rigging, but my brain was like,
Oh, good. I got you covered.
yeah. As you are able to hack away at these knots and whatnot, you hear a muffled "moo," and that's all you get.
Hold your horses. I'll get you out there in just a moment.
I'm gonna pay attention to the lighthouse where I saw that figure walking.
Okay, so you're making sure that no one else is.
Yeah, I'm kind of
On
watching
ya?
their backs.
I'm still watching the oil in utter amazement.
All
I
right,
could make a song about this and nobody would believe me.
Isn't that the life of a bod anyway?
I'm glad I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Oh, that's what you heard.
What's the first line of the toss a coin to your witcher?
Toss a coin to your witcher.
No, it's like he came next to me or something like that. It's just gonna be like he became BP.
All right, I'm gonna
While leaking in the sea.
open up the bag there, and I'll peer inside. What do I
As
see?
you open the bag, you notice immediately this is a humanoid that's an aquarian. They are bound with their hands tied like this. There is a gag in their mouth, and their feet, as you look down, are also wrapped up in rope. There is signs of bruises. And does anyone have any knowledge on aquarians?
I don't know.
Or just
Other than-
know how to
I was
speak
going
the
to say,
language.
one of us, you speak the language.
Well, he speaks
Aquan.
through the
He
Aquan.
speaks Aquan.
I speak Aquan, but I'm deaf.
Yes. You can tell this thing has been battered and bruised, and it doesn't look like it is not an adult, but also not a child.
And what is it?
It is looking up at you for its eyes, anime eyes, and it blinks its second eyelids at you, and
Is it a merfolk?
yes, merfolk, an
Oh.
aquarian.
Gotcha. Is it
Do-
gagged?
It is gagged, and it is bound on its hands and feet.
How about you get its mouth?
You
I'll get to that in just a second.
What?
have to yell.
I
I'm going to turn to the merfolk and be, rather gentle. Be like, don't worry, I'm not here to harm you. I'm just going to take the gag off you. All
Are you
right?
speaking that in common, or are you speaking that in aquarian?
I'm going to try Aquarian because being this is a merfolk, it might, not quite understand common, maybe.
Gotcha.
Hey, Torlock, do you know Aquin?
Lord.
You would probably see my lips move.
I could talk to him, but I can't hear what he's saying.
I got it.
What, whatever.
You thumbs up.
Great.
So, generally, I take the gag off him.
Okay.
Or her, whatever, because it didn't exactly say its gender.
It's a merfolk, so
Triton doesn't look anything like Ariel. We can figure it out.
yes, there are no boobs.
All right.
Well, we can test this with a set of dancing skills.
Right.
That is true. As you take the gag off, and I assume that you're going to help it
Yes.
with the binds and as well as it being in a sack.
Yes.
It takes just a minute to get the binds out of its hands and out of its feet and out of the sack, and it kind of stretches and it looks at you and it recognizes that you are speaking its language, and it looks at you and speaks completely in common.
Well, that's a surprise.
What are humans doing here?
Well, we were about to ask you that ourselves.
Well, I would say some humans. There is an elf.
Well, I'm not exactly all human myself either, but being I'm Apple.
A bit strange that the first thing I would say is, where's humans doing here? But it looks at all of you and it kind of bows and says, "Thank you for freeing me. However, you should not be here."
What,
Are you
did you get put in the
okay?
sack?
And then it looks over at Tyr and realizes that he's just leaking oil from his ears. And it goes from a face of just the blinking eye meme, like,
And just for clarification, I am also casting prestidigitation to clean this up as fast as I can.
it's leaking out at a moderate rate, so it's disappearing slowly but surely, but it is still, you're gonna need some new clothes or take a dip in the ocean to get this off you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
I see a root puppy.
it looks it over at him and goes, is your friend all right?
I don't know.
It depends on your definition of all right. That is not normal for him.
Just slightly not normal.
He's looking, he's like, "Can I ask your friend to go onto the land so it does not leak into the ocean?"
Tia, why don't you back up a bit? Onto the
What?
land.
What?
I'm gonna take him by the shoulders and guide him like back off the pier.
What's going on with this guy?
I'm just gonna keep pulling him off the pier.
She just grabs him by the ear. "No, this way."
No, shoulders.
She's gonna have to roll at disadvantage because I'm slippery and.
Fine.
Actually, yes. Make me a roll just to see if you could just grab him.
The effects of
What am I making? What like?
You give me a strength. Or no, give me a dex. Give me just a straight dex.
Okay, that's a 9.
Okay. Well,
Total
unfortunately,
for disadvantage.
as you go to grab him, you can grab him, but it's like grabbing someone with Dawn dish soap on them. Just
Oh,
and just
you ever tried to wrestle a pig?
A greased up pig.
When it was greased up? No.
But I'm assuming that he's gonna follow.
I am.
In case when he. Okay.
I am. I'm pretty sure I can infer that they want me off the pier.
The Aquan or Merfolk. I'll just say Merfolk. Makes it easier. That way people
Thank you for
understand
the
better.
resub, ZNZ.
Thank you, ZZ.
Thanks, Easy.
The Merfolk looks at the other two people that are remaining, and he was like, "I am Tra Lafin." And yes, that is the name from the book. Don't ask me why. Why would you put?
Laughing. All right.
I'm a Merfolk. My last name is Lafin.
He's French.
Laflan.
Puppy.
She get more screen time than anyone else.
I know, right?
She's the star.
Doggo Cam.
This
I'm thinking about
this island is my refuge for me and some
Hey, Krabby.
of my kind. Unfortunately, my kind had a disagreement with me, and they tied me up to this pier.
What were you having a disagreement about?
Unfortunately, it seems that what you would call, and then he pauses for a minute, the sea princes, they have taken over the lighthouse. And I, trying to be a pacifist, was going to explain to them they need to leave, as this place holds ill to anyone who sets here. The seas around the island are, and he pauses again. You can see that he's trying to find words, and he stops and he goes, "They do not bode well with your seafaring vessels."
Out of curiosity, do you know anything about a kraken?
And he looks and goes, "Yes, unfortunately, that is why we seek refuge here. The place where we used to call home is no longer home.
Gotcha.
It is a dangerous place in which any who still live there have been tainted."
And you say the sea princes are in that lighthouse?
A few nights ago, a group of 8 arrived at the place and have been using the lighthouse as a refuge. We've been keeping an eye from the sea. However, the island itself has been what you would call cursed after your kind killed a siren here.
Oh. I don't suppose there's any legend or way of removing said curse.
Unfortunately, that is not for me to tell. I am but a... And he stops again and he goes, "Worker?"
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't... He goes, "But I did not want a fight brewing between the humans and my kind. Unfortunately, it seems that my people have grown," and he stops again, "aggressive to all who are not merfolk."
Wait a minute. Are these sea princes, are they more merfolk?
Unfortunately, that is what the curse brings upon people who stay on this island. Those who continue to stay here slowly become transformed, but their minds become warped. They do become merfolk, but they are tainted.
Like with black pustules and whatnot?
It varies depending on And he stops again. What? And he's really struggling. Race or species?
Oh.
We did not want more tainted ones in our new home.
Well, that would make... Shoot, I can't hear.
It's been 5 minutes. It's done. You're good.
Okay.
I'll fill him in on everything that's happened or been said. Like,
As
TLDR version thus far.
Dear, just conjure a cotton swab.
Conjure tiny magic hand. Clean out my ear.
There's probably some wizard who's come up with that.
Mordenkainen.
Right? He's coming to my house.
Mordenkainen's ear cleanser.
Yes. It's a 6th level spell.
Bixby's wet willy
Leoman's tiny Q-tip.
Lefin is your name, and I'm speaking in Aquan.
Oh, you actually know it. Okay. He again looks surprised, and he's like, "I did not know your kind spoke our language."
Oh, I spent way too many days on the ocean, and knowing this language made me invaluable on my ship.
There is some times in which we trade some shiny babbles. Your people seem absolutely fascinated by them.
It's considered a currency for us.
Ah, so that's why they were so interested in that chest down there.
Yeah. People fought wars over less.
He's still speaking in common and you're speaking in Aquan.
Yeah.
So you have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yes, what chest?
Some time ago, before what you call a kraken appeared, and there was peaceful times. One of your vessels, unfortunately, did not weather a storm well and sank to the bottom of the ocean. A few traders came by and spoke to us as we were doing some business, though really we trade shiny babbles to you, but for some reason your kind is, how do you want to put it, greedy.
Yeah.
That
As I
doesn't
said,
surprise me.
Welcome to humans, unfortunately.
we fought wars over less.
Yes, they were very aggressive, saying that if we did not get this chest that was on this vessel, that you would pollute our waters, and as well as harm us.
Do understand that they speak for themselves, not the whole of the whole of us.
I understand that.
Why were you in
Unfortunately,
that
my-
bag tied up?
And he kind of sighs and he goes, when I spoke to my people about speaking to those who are in your lighthouse, they disagreed with me and thought that instead of letting me merely deal with it and speak to them myself, they would tie me in a bag as they thought that I was tainted.
Ah,
That the voices had gotten into my head.
Speaking of voices,
Mm-hmm.
no, no.
do I hear my little ghostly friend?
You do not.
Ah,
However, you are on the pier, and give me an insight.
oh, that would be not so good. That would be a 12.
All right, I'll give you a slight hint, not the full thing. Whenever your friend has appeared, you have been near water, and something has happened to trigger it. But you can't quite figure out what's the triggering point, other than you are near water.
How many people are in the lighthouse?
From what I have seen, there are 8. They have been here a few days now, and I know that if they continue to stay longer, they will be tainted.
Do they come and go freely, or have they just been staying here?
They have been staying here.
All right, I think maybe we need to evict the interlopers.
Tyr, I can't understand anything you're saying. What are you saying?
Oh, at that moment I turned around in common and said, I think we should evict the interlopers.
I was saying just fine.
You finally remembered a language that we understand.
I was being polite and talking to him in his language.
I understand. I just half-sided conversations are super not fun.
Sorry. Anywho, there's a bunch of sea princes in the lighthouse that are going to become tainted and evil, and because this guy wants to be nice to them, he got tied up and thrown in a bag.
Right.
I shouldn't say nice to them. He wanted to negotiate with them. And
Right, he was speaking in common just fine. I just couldn't understand what you were saying. Or you.
Oh, well then why am I explaining this? We need to get rid of the people in the lighthouse.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
We have another no-net one.
Yes.
Thanks, Poison.
You know what I'm absolutely fascinated by is the fact that you guys were in Eva's manor, go through this tunnel, find death, decay, destruction, guards, and whatnot. You pop up on this island, you're just like, new quest time. But okay, we're going on.
Look, see, think of it this way. If we get the merfolk on our side, then we have more people to help us when we go back to town. It just works.
True.
Now,
Now,
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
yes.
Also,
He
we're
goes,
very sorry for invading your new home.
There
It
appears
was
to
on
be-
purpose, I assure you.
There appears to be some way for people to get here through tunnels.
And he looks and goes, did you happen to step through a gate?
Something like that,
No,
yeah.
it was just some weird thing in the air, and then you were here.
I stepped around the pendulum.
And he goes,
Something about leaving an image behind?
Right, we
because
stepped through a wardrobe.
yeah.
Who's bad?
He pauses
Was there
for
a
a
line
minute.
in the witch?
It's
He
the
pauses
Terminus!
for a
I
minute.
knew I recognized you from somewhere.
And he goes, so you stepped through an area and you were whisked here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That about sums it up.
For a lack of better words.
I mean, we didn't see a
Didn't-
gateway.
You didn't happen to see a triangular shape near it?
Nope. Can't say that I did.
And he kind of
Don't think so. We might
It
have
was
missed it.
rather dark.
I mean,
he
we
nods
could've
and he
missed
goes,
it. Right.
he goes, well, not so long ago actually, to keep peace with those in what the town you call Saltmarsh, we gave objects that were in, and then he pauses again and he goes, magical nature. Some of our finest craftsmen were able to create devices in which your people could come to a safe area at our old home. It was a house in which you would be under the ocean but you'd still be able to breathe. There would be no water in this place. We used it as a means to trade.
Is this the fortress everyone says sank?
And he pauses and he goes, there is a large building that is near our old home.
Interesting.
We don't know if much about the area. It is forbidden to go into.
Well, let's discuss that after we get rid of your unwanted guests.
Unwanted guests, yeah.
Yes, please, if you would. Unfortunately, I do not know if they would be your kind still or not.
Oh, this means more of a reason to dispose of them.
And he kind of looks dismayed when you say dispose. He goes, there won't be repercussions for my people, will there?
Not to my knowledge.
Is there a way to make them normal?
Unfortunately, once you are tainted, it seems that you are not able
Then
to
it's
be.
then it's none of my concern. They just need to be disposed of. As towards whether or not it has repercussions on you, I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be repercussions all the way up and down this coast, as the sea princes now have a diseased kraken and have been attacking all willy-nilly like.
And when you say that line, he goes, "Oh, no, the sea princes did not summon the kraken. They fought the kraken."
Okay.
What?
The kraken attacked a ship. So
And he kind of pauses again. It is not of normal nature.
Yeah, no kidding.
Beasts such as that, who travel the depths, normally slumber unless disturbed.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little story, and I'm going to get your thoughts on it. And then I explained to him basically what happened to us on the ship with the creatures, the scepter, and it being smashed, and my ghost buddy.
Gotcha.
is this the first time you're hearing about the ghost buddy from you?
No, you guys have seen the ghost buddy.
Yeah, you've seen him. Like he was on the longboat as you guys were leaving Saltmarsh the first time.
Okay, I just didn't remember if we knew that it was attached to him or not.
Yes. You can put two and two together, you realize it's something. And his eyes brighten up, and he goes, You carry one of us with you?
Apparently, yes.
And he immediately lightens up, and he goes, please stick your hand in the water.
Oh, I feel like I'm getting pranked here, but all right.
Put
I
him
love a
into
good
the
prank.
water.
I'll put my hand in the water.
As you put your hand in the water, he goes, if one of us is bound to you, they are bound by blood.
That about describes it. I suppose I should put my hand then.
You will need to bleed into the water.
Well,
Kick him in the nose.
Now, just for a reference, the reason why that it was summoned on the longboat, Torlock, was because you were injured when you were leaving.
Gotcha.
Cove.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm going to give myself a little nick on my finger.
And as you do this, your ghost buddy pops up where your hand is, standing in front of you, in full length, and it starts to speak And as you start hearing the words, your ears are just assaulted by what sounds like tens of dozens of voices just screaming in pain. And it looks like he is trying to speak what looks like a sentence over and over again. But all you are hearing are these maddening screams.
I'm going to try really, really hard to read his lips.
Roll me a con save. For everyone else,
That's a rather nice one.
you see the ghost appear as Torlock has his hand in the water. You do not hear anything, but you can see Torlock is squinting. He's trying to concentrate on something, and the merfolk is on the ground, on the pier, his hands covering his ear holes, because they don't have ears, and it looks like he is rocking back and forth.
That would be.
What did you do?
That would be a 25 on the save.
All right. You do not succumb to the effect that would possibly happen. However, now roll me a perception, please, as you are trying to focus and dial in on what he's saying.
I cast Leomund's tiny earplugs.
Like I said, you guys are perfectly fine. You don't hear a thing. It's just Torlock and apparently the other merfolk, who is almost, if a merfolk could cry, it looks like it's crying.
I'm gonna put my hand, like, kneel down and put my hand on his shoulder.
And as you do that, he snaps out, looks at you, and I need you to roll me a con save.
Okay. 20.
Damn.
Holy crap!
Um,
So it would be a 20.
When you put your hand on him, you can now hear all these voices, these screams, these pained moans. And when he looks at you and you look at him, it almost looks like his eyes have been completely blackened over. And he now starts repeating the sentence.
And I got a 23 on that perception, by the way.
And awkward
Okay.
common.
It is in common. I need you to roll me a perception as well.
I wonder if you could even call these the Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Chat, please tell me if I need to throw an object at him, please.
Oh no, that was well timed. That was very well timed.
Did you like my dramatic turn too?
I do. That was very office.
So many caltraps that I could just. I have all 16 of them.
That was very good delivery.
Thank you.
That was
I rolled a 20 again,
Okay.
so 27 total.
Both of you are able to understand the sentence. It comes. It hungers. It will not stop. You must burn the darkness.
I cast magic missile.
He
No,
said burn it, not this.
that's arcane. Krabby, where are you at? Fire.
What comes?
What darkness?
And that is the only sentence it keeps repeating.
Hey, Seekazilla. It's good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Zeke!
No.
Yay!
I'll just say LaFin.
Yes, the Zeeks.
LaFin says, please take your hand out of the water. Please stop bleeding into the water. It's overwhelming.
Right.
just shake it out.
It's just.
Shake it up. Shake it up. Whoa.
The ghost friend disappears once blood has stopped spilling into the water. And LaFen is absolutely staggered, stunned. He shook to the core. And he takes a moment to kind of ready himself. And he goes,
Maybe you can explain a bit of that?
he goes, that was an oracle. What you would call a speaker of a god.
Oh,
It has been tainted, but a shred of itself remains. It's a warning.
what's this darkness it's talking about?
And he goes, there was an old tale that the building that is in the water near our old home, and he kind of pauses from, he's still shaking,
Take your time.
that your kind betrayed our kind, and we prayed to a wrathful god. The building, or the fortress that you say, was destroyed by the wrathful god, but in order to earn his favor, our people had to sacrifice. Oh, okay. Yay!
I was annoyed I couldn't use an emote, so I had to.
That is one of the tales. The other tale is simply that the sea was reclaiming the land, and it woke up what you would call the kraken.
Right, so we got to burn the kraken then?
I do not know, but that oracle, it is bound by blood by you, but at the same time, if it continues to be bound to you, more than likely the taint of and he pauses and he goes, the darkness might spread to you.
Well, that can't be good.
You have a black spot on you.
Yep.
Wonderful. So how
Have
do
you ever taken a look at that black spot lately?
I'd assume I'd see something if ever I, because it was in the hand, right?
Correct. And when you look at it, you notice that the black spot has indeed gotten bigger. It's not much bigger.
So
Why were there so many voices that we heard? Ow.
And he goes, it may have been the tainted ones. When you are tainted, you hear the call, you hear the voices.
Well, here's another question for you. How do I get one of your kind unbound?
And he goes, you could speak to our leader, however, and he kind of pauses again. He goes, perhaps solving things at the lighthouse may earn favor with him, but he is very, very much against your kind.
Understandably so. Well, I'm on full.
And he goes, simply, there is anything that is, and he pauses, he's trying to find the words again. Anything that walks on land is considered tainted. right now.
Gotcha.
I might be able to fix the walking on land part. I can fly.
Ariel, could you give me a perception, please, since you've been keeping an eye out?
That one's not as good. 10 total.
A 10?
Yeah. I rolled a 3, okay?
Yes! Yes! Finally, she doesn't see something!
I didn't see
It's a nice...
the thing that I was supposed to see with my amazing sight last time we were here to see what the source of the portal things were either, so don't even go there.
It's a nice day out.
Uh-huh.
Nice breeze, seagulls. You hear them, bye. That's what you think. He's kind of gotten some of his resolve back, and he takes a deep breath and he goes, I have been out of the waters a bit too long, possibly.
Then we need to get you back.
How far from this isle is your home?
To the east of the island, we have set up new homes. It is, and he pauses, in a trench, you would call, deep, so that humans could not go down there without some effort.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm all for getting favor from your king, prince, whatever he is, leader. So
my people, we do not do titles. They are simply just roles.
Diplomacy's not your thing, is it?
Yeah, he paused. He goes, wait, what's he saying?
Diplomacy is definitely not quite my thing. My whole thing is, well, I punched my commander-in-chief. That's probably why I never got anything above a sergeant.
Yeah.
Well, demoted from lieutenant to sergeant.
Little bit of movie cliche with you. I don't like you. I'm doing it my way. I'm gonna be a rebel, Mom. You don't punch your mom.
Okay. He ordered us into a death trap, so I punched him in the face.
Yes.
I have to disagree with him strongly.
He goes, I wish to return to the waters. I will stay close to the island. If you can remove those in the lighthouse, that would be great, though I do not like the loss of life.
Believe me, I don't either.
It is the cycle of life, and they are now unnatural.
And he kind of nods. He goes, unfortunately, those who are tainted, we have found no means other than imprisonment to keep them alive.
Oh dear.
They listen to the voices, and the voices command their actions.
I wonder if that's that squishy gurgle thing that we heard back in the house.
I bet you anything it was.
No one went down the hallway to find out.
Went down the hallway long enough to hear a lot of gurgling. Wait, that's how then, if it was Aquan, that none of us understood what it was being said, considering two of us speak Aquan.
Correct. But it was just a gurgling, squishy sound.
Okay.
It wasn't actually talking.
Correct. All right. So your friend heads back into the water. He kind of walks in, waddles in, and he looks at you, and he goes, I will be close by. However, at night, I will return to a cove that I have found on the north side of this island. The waters are dangerous at night. Do not travel the waters at night.
Please be careful.
And he nods and he goes, I have remained safe at our new home and kept an eye out on this being the closest land to us. If you need my aid for anything at all, simply travel to the north of the island. There is a tree that is dead, but has red paint on it that I have seen.
Stick this arrow in it.
Below that tree is the cove.
All right, then. Well, let's go get rid of your nasties in that lighthouse.
Do you know if they're armed?
When they arrived here, they were well supplied. I
long
saw
ago
many
was that?
bags, as well as, and he kind of paused and he goes, a man wearing a hood, and he carried a glowing object in his right hand.
Oh, great, they got a caster. How long ago did they arrive?
I would say 3 days.
Okay.
Thank you, Poison Ivy Pika.
All the
Thank you, Poison.
Corgos.
And with that, he slowly disappears into the ocean. And just, whoop, he's gone. You are now standing on the pier. In order to reach this lighthouse, there is a path that travels close to the center of the island that you can see. It disappears into some trees and woods. By that I mean there's a few trees which leads to woods. The terrain is hilly. If you were to get off the path, not difficult to terrain, but not something easily traveled to. This island definitely doesn't look like anyone's been here for a fairly long time.
Well, I do not believe that the most direct approach is the appropriate approach.
Usually not. The way we can scout ahead and see what we're up against.
Do I see anything now that I'm like less paying attention to the merfolk?
No. You'll see the path as it slowly inclines up, but that's as far as you can see. You have very, very short beaches all around this island. This is mostly for Tyr's experience. He knows that it goes from beaches to land to slightly hilly inclines. And past that point in the center of the island is rumored to where the lighthouse keeper's house was. And then the lighthouse itself is towards the eastern part of the island. I'm sorry, yes, the eastern part of the island.
Does this happen to be on the map that you had given us?
Let me check real quick, actually. I don't know if you still have it, do you?
I do.
I don't.
Yes, actually, it is that small island that is straight east of the city.
Number 30?
Number 30.
Okay.
Can someone post a picture of it in the Discord?
Yep, I will be doing that in just a sec.
Thank you.
As a side note, I think Discord's down right now. You may or may not be connected.
Then I will show
Oh,
you right
never
now.
mind.
Hopefully, I can get it lined up. The camera is... It is right there. Oop, line it up. Can I do it? Can I do it? Am I failing?
I think we got an idea.
Yes. It is east of the main city. Or the main part of the city. from where you guys are, you are on the western part of the island that is facing the town.
Okay. I sent it via text.
Thank you.
Best way to describe it is there's like a little indent on that island on the western point. You are up there.
Okay, gotcha.
And
Is
it's
it
not
there-
as inclined as it shows on that map. That's supposed to be beach, but they did not do it.
Gotcha.
So
They make it look like this is a raised isle.
yes,
Really,
it looks like a
yeah.
raised island, but in the description, it's not a raised isle.
Okay.
You said that there were bags and whatnot on the pier. I'm going to take a quick look at the other bags.
All right. In these bags, you will find various things such as rope. You will find kindling, flint, some steel. There is nets. So it looks like all in general purposes of surviving on the island.
You know what? We should check out the ships.
The two dinghies that are right next to the pier.
And see if there's any other
Yep.
cargo on the ships.
Good idea.
Get an idea of how much of this cargo they've used and how much they've left behind.
Could we also figure out a way of making so that one of them either sails towards the island or away from the island so they can't get off of it, or disabling them so we can't
They can't get going anywhere away from us.
Well, these are practically rowboats.
Yeah.
So
So take
when you
your word.
look into these, when you look in these boats, there is nothing there except for what keeps it tied to the dock.
Are
And
we?
they're 4 people vessels.
Where are we in full view of the lighthouse?
You can see the top part of it. You can't see the full version of it. So if you were using your mind to go, if someone's at the lighthouse right now and was looking at us, yes, they could see you.
All right.
They'd have to have really good eyesight, but I mean, you are standing on a dock.
And there would be movement. They'd be able to make an inference.
Yes,
Well,
I'll give that to you since you're a soldier.
I think we need to move inland, find a place to camp up.
Yeah, rest sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all this has transpired. It's been about 30 minutes at most. The BP oil spill has been taken care of.
Yeah, I have been cleaning it up.
Yes, Tyr, you do feel a little bit slimy, a little bit oily.
I probably smell to high heaven too.
There's no smell, just oil.
Oil has a smell though.
So let's find a
Yeah, I
place
guess
to
so.
make camp.
Like I said, you are in the eastern part of the western part of the isle. You can continue up to where it does incline a little bit, but it's not like a raised island. Like this thing's huge.
And there are bunches of trees around, right?
Correct.
I'll suggest camping in amongst the trees, just to keep unwanted eyes
You know
prying
what?
at us.
How about we head a bit north so that we're within spitting distance of the cove?
That'll work.
All right.
Quite an interesting unit of measurement you've chosen, Tyr.
Well, if you're all...
Some people can spit further than others.
he's just gonna go to the edge. He's like, and then
All right, that's
the
what
merfolk's gonna be like, why?
Don't you think the oil and the blood was enough pollutants for today?
I cleaned up my mess. I don't know about him.
Well, blood's 90% water anyways, right?
Hey, I guess we can figure out what's thicker, blood or oil.
Wow.
I would like to grab some of the supplies that are here.
Okay.
One of the nets. You said there was nets, ropes, anything else of import there?
Yeah, there was a small sack. Inside the sack, there was ropes, nets. There was no food. There was no water. There are water skins, just no water.
We're gonna pull the water
Like I said, it
skins.
looks like someone was setting up to live here. Basic stuff. Like, say if a lumberjack wanted to come over to the island, chop a tree, come down, get some wood, something basic to get started.
Well, I do want one of the nets.
Okay, go ahead and take it. No problem, it's yours.
I need to find me a pencil.
I'd like to take one of the empty water skins.
Here you go, Tyr.
Go right ahead.
You can borrow mine.
Like I said, there is some flint and steel. There is kindling, which is kind of weird because there are trees on this island, but maybe.
I mean, maybe they didn't realize there was enough.
Yeah, there's nothing of importance or magical means or anything like that. It is just simple supplies.
Is there any like bandaging equipment or anything in there?
There is some linen that you
Okay,
could
that
use.
will.
Okay, go right ahead. Just a spool of linen. There'd be like 3 uses to like bandage yourself or something like that.
Does there seem to be any equipment for camping, such as a tent or a large tarp?
There is not.
Well, that's annoying. They should have known we needed them. And left them for me. Jerks.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Oh, that actually reminds me of something real quick. Tyr, can you please give me a percentile dice?
That's that. 70 on the nose.
You beat me. Tyr, using your cunning mariner sense, you sense something in your bones. Something that most mariners would experience as a change in the wind, the smell in the air, the storms are coming.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me.
Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morn, sailors be warned.
Well, we can probably take one of these dinghies as shelter.
Oh, I'm sure we can set up some sort of camp in inland too. But yeah, let's grab one of these dinghies and at least use it to help create a break.
I'll help carry you.
I will too.
Now, you will notice that when you grab these boats, I mean, they're rowboats, so they're pretty decently heavy, but there was no oars in these.
That's all right. Now there's no dinghy.
Well, maybe they've been refined into ingots.
The urge to throw caltrips at them.
I am playing Marcus.
You are indeed. Oh my god. You're also playing yourself, which is so weird. It's fun.
It makes it so much easier.
Yes. So you have no problem grabbing the rowboat out of the water, getting it untied. You grab the supplies and whatnot. I mean, you could, if you want to be smart about it, you could probably grab that large red sack that used to have a merfolk in it and probably put all this stuff in it except for the rowboat and call it good.
Right, so who's going to carry the second bag?
Again? Oh,
Okay.
Marcus can.
I will. I have to go all the way back to Zoom to unmute, so I try not to. You know my pain. We trade off, so.
Yes. So you're going to head to the northern part of the island. Now, in the size and scope of this island, to going from the west side to the north side, where that cove he talked about is probably about a 20 to 25 minute escapade, especially with the rowboat carrying it.
We'll trade off.
Yes. Is anyone looking out for anything as they are?
Well, yes, that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
Designate
person in
someone,
front of the
please.
one person in front of the two carrying it, and one person behind. That way we
Okay,
can navigate.
Gotcha. The person who is in front, please make yourself known.
Who's carrying it right now?
So
It was...
she and I are carrying the dinghy.
Alright. So I'll take the lead.
Okay. Please give me a perception roll.
That would be a 15.
A 15. It doesn't seem like anything is dangerous in this area. The only thing that would give you a bit of concern is the fact that there is no wildlife other than birds. There's no rabbits, no squirrels, no small critters.
It's a little isle. Mostly fishing is my guess. Doesn't concern me much.
As you are walking up this slight incline, you do notice that there is red paint on some of the trees.
I'm going to pay attention to see if there's anything specific about these trees.
When you look at these trees... Ooh, actually, Miss Cleric, do you not have the ability to sense certain things? And I will give you
Detect good and evil?
or is it paladins I'm thinking about?
Paladins have to make...
You're thinking about paladins.
I am so sorry, Miss... Alright, ignore that.
I'm not a paladin. You. No, I can't open my pally senses like a pelican. I'm a cleric, not a pally.
Sorry, I goofed up on that one. My bad. Everything seems normal except for the fact that these trees are just marked with red paint.
Like I said, I want to pay attention to them and see if there's anything unique about them.
They look like normal trees. Nothing strikes you oddly. There's no change in the bark. There's no size difference. There's nothing. They're living trees.
Is there a change in the marking pattern?
No, it's always a circular mark of red paint.
And are they all the same type of tree?
Yes.
Are there more than one type of tree on the isle?
There is. There is cedar, there is birch, and there are very few, but there are a few pine trees. And the ones that have red markings on them, they're just all different types. There's nothing,
okay, so the marks
they're
are
only
not
pine,
on
they're only
specific
birch, they're only
trees.
cedar.
Okay.
How far away from the lighthouse are these? Like, have we seen anything? A certain distance from the lighthouse.
Okay. So if you were to go from west to east, you would have to go up a path that goes to the center, towards the center of the island, and then from there the path goes down east, south, or southeast to east.
It's roughly from where we were, roughly to the lighthouse is 500 feet.
Wait, 500 feet?
According to the scale that I have on here, it's roughly 500 feet.
Ignore that scale. It is way off. From the description of this, from what the book said, it is nowhere near correct.
So what is it then? From where we are to the lighthouse?
Well, from where you guys are at on the eastern part of the island, to go north, where you guys want to go, where that little cove is. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like a 20 to 25 minute walk. From going east to west, it's only going to take you about 15 minutes.
Okay. So it's a couple
Tier,
miles.
For that, looking at that picture,
miles.
you are heading to the very tip of that north, where there's very few trees.
Right, so it's about a 2-mile walk.
Yeah. I'm sorry I said that. Ignore the scaling on the map. It is way off.
Okay. But 2 miles really isn't that much of a hike.
Correct. 25 minutes.
But do the markings seem to create a perimeter?
They do not.
Okay.
They are just, as you're walking, you'll see a tree with a red circular mark on it. And you'll walk and you'll walk and you'll walk. Maybe like a minute or two later, you'll see another tree a little bit further away. Red mark on it. Then you can see a couple feet later, there's 2 trees with 2 marks right back next to each other.
It's here. Do me a favor.
What?
Thump a tree that doesn't have a mark on it, and then thump a tree that does.
What kind of thump?
Oh, just take a stick to it.
Okay. I will grab my quarterstaff. I will walk up, take aim, and swing at the circle.
Okay. As you take your quarterstaff and hit the tree, you hit a tree. It seems pretty decently thick. THICC.
I will go to one that is not marked of the same kind of tree and swap it with the quarterstaff.
Now, the thing is, however, is when you took a step up to the tree, you noticed that the soil near this tree is not as packed as, say if it was normal ground.
It seems like loose dirt.
Like someone dug it up recently?
Good question. I'm going to use my quarterstaff and start moving about some of the dirt and see if I can see how far down this loose soil is.
Roll me a percentile, please.
That would be an 4.
0.04?
Yeah.
Okay. As you start poking the ground right below this red mark, it only takes you but a few seconds to see that there is a rock that is buried in this loose soil. On this rock is inscribed what looks like a name.
Am I able to discern this name?
You are not able to discern this name. However, you can tell that whoever carved the name into the rock, and when I say a rock, I mean it looks like someone took a piece of rock, not made it perfectly square, rectangular, any kind of different, like a definite shape, but they just took the rock and slowly chiseled in the name.
Okay.
And the name for this one is, and I know this is going to be horrible to say, Elvira Minor.
Okay.
Just like burial?
I'm going to make a mental note of this. And the next tree that we come to that has a circle on it, I'm going to see if it has loose soil as well.
All right. It doesn't take you long. You can easily just pull your head up, look over, and there's the 2 trees that have 2 red marks right next to each other. You take your quarterstaff, you take it into the dirt, and lo and behold, there is another stone. And
Another
it
name?
says John Williams.
I'm guessing these are grave markers.
I was going to say the composer?
Hey, you know
Duel of
what
Fate
this
starts
means?
playing.
You know what this means? We know the day the music died.
Oof.
I appreciate that one theory. That was good.
Interesting. Is there a date on it?
That was actually my next question. Do they have dates marked?
There is nothing but the name.
I'm guessing these are grave sites. All of them.
Do the trees look like they're of different age? Like that they're different height, different widths around, or are they just like
Roll me a nature.
that would be a 10.
10. From your knowledge, it looks like all the trees are about the same height. I mean, you can see some saplings and whatnot here and there, but
Most of the trees that have markings on them are bigger.
yes.
Or okay. Darn it, I'm not a ranger. Or a druid.
You want to do me a favor?
What was
I'm
that?
guessing, little Miss Cleric Lady,
What?
Ariel, you want to do me a favor? I have a bad feeling. Can you pray over this gravesite for me?
Of course. And I will drop to my knee and pray over. Where are we? Are we at the two trees that are next to each other?
Yes.
Both graves.
You start going ahead, crawl up your mini skirt. No.
Oh, look at him!
John Williams, bad.
Wow.
When you take a moment, center yourself. Yes. I was going for more of an Evil Dead reference, but
Atu, Barata.
Thank you, Speedy.
there's a sense of peace, of calm. And then a moment or two later, again, you start to feel something poking at the back of your head. Like something is slowly taking its hand, and it's going from just a finger to a whole hand, like it's almost massaging your scalp. And this feeling of chill
Hand check.
starts to wash over you.
I'm gonna do this. I assume there's nothing there.
You stop praying, stop meditation and whatnot, and you feel
It
the
goes away.
chill go away. But there was nothing there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop praying then. Completely detect good and evil.
All right, please give me the definition of that,
Stand by.
because I know it's different for different classes. So
Yep, a moment.
paladins can just be like, I sense evil here.
Um,
Clerics are like, I actually got to roll for that. God dang it.
it's a concentration up to 10 minutes. For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically concentrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
All right. Unfortunately, you feel there is something not right, but it is not an overwhelming sense.
Okay.
It seems like it almost feels like something is blocking it, but it wants to get out. It wants to reach. It wants to grab.
Okay. I'll relay this to the party. That I don't feel, or there's nothing specifically here, but it's here in a presence of some sense.
Maybe
Not
it's,
physically here.
maybe it's a clue to the darkness thing that you guys are talking about.
It's possible.
Well, Let's get a little bit closer to the northern cove and set up camp.
Who was in the rear?
Marcus.
Marcus, please roll me a perception.
Okie dokie.
Oh,
Ooh, 19.
Nice roll.
Thank you.
That was better than me.
From the corner of your eye, where you guys have gotten off the path now, since you're heading north, you see something of large shape, kind of, how do you want to put it, peek its head from a tree and then
Is it humanoid or what?
it's large. It's not
How far away?
animalistic feral. It's I would say about 50 feet to the southeast of you.
Hey, I say this stage quiet. Guys, ooh, just this out there. There was something big. I swore I saw something look around the tree and come back behind the tree.
I'm gonna surreptitiously take a look.
All right, give me perception.
That would be an 18 altogether.
18.
Mhm.
I'll look.
When you
well.
look, you notice there is nothing that seems to be poking that way.
I don't see it. I say under my breath.
Well, let's keep moving and see if this thing is going to accompany us on our journey.
All right, you're maybe 7-8 minutes out from the northern part of the island where you guys want to camp out at. There is a pretty dense portion of woods that you guys can travel through, and that will open up into pretty much a very wide open, good view of everything around you. Very little trees. Maybe a
This looks
shrub,
like
a bush.
And
But,
this thicket of woods right here.
Yeah. It'd be about maybe a 2-minute walk from the cove and a
Alright.
dead tree that's hanging out towards the northern part.
Let's set ourselves up some type of lean-to or whatnot.
Sounds good.
And you guys have absolutely no problem finding close trees that where you could just make a makeshift camp. The supplies in the bags that you guys found, you could easily make a campfire if you needed to. There's rocks, pebbles, kind of things that you could jumble together to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere.
And of course, using the dinghy.
Yep, and you can use dinghy as well. At this time, it's 4 o'clock, 4-ish. But someone give me a perception that have been looking out, if you would. Preferably someone who is not setting up the camp.
I will. I rolled a 22.
22? All right. You have not seen any more activity of whatever Marcus saw.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be anything else other than birds chirping, the sea, and a very distant sound of thunder.
I would like to make my way down toward the cove and see if there's a good spot for fishing.
There is indeed. There is on this side of the island, the waters are decently calm.
Right.
On the eastern side, they are pretty rough. On the western side, it's not so bad. Southern side, they're pretty rough. But the northern side, you could easily grab a fishing line, fishing pole. The waters.
I'm going to do it slightly
20 feet.
different.
Okay.
I'm going to take my 50 foot of rope.
All
I'm
right.
going to take that net that I found, I'm going to tie off the rope to the net, and I am going to cast my net wide.
All right, give me a athletics.
That sucked. It was an 11.
Oh.
I walk over. Let me help you. Let me try this.
Yeah, he throws the rope or the rope in the net the first time. It kind of just splashes the water in a tangled mess.
I laugh at the attempt. Tyr, let me give this a shot.
Right, fine, whatever. Here you go.
Aren't you supposed to be a sailor?
Yes, not a fisherman, a sailor. There's a difference.
So that'd be 29.
You have absolutely no problem showing this guy up. Like, I mean, you grab this rope and you're just like, oh, magic Mike this. Oh
Oh my god.
And just chuck it in there. It lands in the water, nice and spread out. And
So you finally found something you're good at.
I was gonna say, I think I know why you choose Mage Hand now, because you can't screw that one up.
oh, snap.
Well, before the storm hits, I just had a thought. We might want to use that as cover to get into the lighthouse.
We don't even know what to expect in a lighthouse.
True.
I'd rather do a little bit of investigation before we go charging in.
I prefer that as well, but I have a feeling they already know we're here.
So do I, which also gives us a bit of an advantage that we're here and not in their lighthouse.
Here, using your mariner sense,
It's all coming up Tyr.
wow. So Tyr, using your roll of 2,
Yeah.
I was gonna have you roll to see when you could predict when the storm was going to come.
I can give you that answer. I know the answer. The answer is soon.
Exactly is your answer, because you're like, I should probably gauge when that storm is gonna come. And you think about it and you go, you know what, you're right. I am better at mage hand than coiling rope.
Are you having
was
an
quick.
off day here?
You know, that oil in my ears thing really messed me up.
Oh, that's it.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go dive in the water.
Okay.
What's up, Gangris?
Hey, goodness.
By the way,
There's nothing
congrats on the
really-
new job,
There's nothing
man.
really dangerous about just jumping in the water. I mean, it's a little up, but it's nothing you can't just whee, psh, and hit it.
I
Probably
was
good,
being a
too,
little bit
because-
facetious with the whole jump thing. I'm going to soak my clothing and all that good stuff. And throw modesty to the wind. I am just going to strip down and
Yeah.
wash off my clothes.
And there's a negative. And the clerk goes, oh.
Avert your eyes.
And here I'm going, this is normal. I mean, if you've ever been amongst a cabin full of soldiers, I mean...
Does it look like I've been in a
Oh,
camp?
and as I start walking into the water, I'm going to start singing, "Let's get down to business to defeat."
I mean,
Hey, you know what? Let's do it.
Tyr did spend a lot of time on Men of the Sea.
I'm gonna go start a fire.
So I can burn my eyes.
I'll help.
I'm
I'll
gonna
help.
join Tyr. I'm gonna join Tyr.
I'm going to put my face as close to the fire as I can handle.
All right. So we have 2 people making a fire, 2 people taking a bath, which isn't a very bad idea because you guys have been kind of. You really haven't just stopped and smelled the roses, and trust me, you don't smell like roses.
Yeah, probably not with all the blood and gore that's been,
I'm gonna pass out now.
I jump off the top rope. WWE cage match into someone's skull with a axe or a warhammer.
It worked.
It's true.
It worked.
Gravity worked for you. And it, 15, 20 minutes, scrubbing, whatever you want to do, party time and whatnot. You got the net casted in there. Marcus and Ariel are doing decently at making the camp up, and you all get around to heading back to the camp.
And cook dinner.
Well, that would be a percentile for Mr. Marcus.
Yeah, that would
Let's see if he is good at pitching and catching.
I mean, he is a bard. He does cast his net wide.
Do I have anything for that?
No.
Uh-oh.
Look, I got this and this.
11.
Oh no.
Burn the bacon.
I burned the freaking water.
So, Marcus, you go to claim your net, you ring it up, and you find an old boot in it.
Hey, we can burn it real crisp. It tastes just like bacon.
Ew. I'll pass.
We have some time. Let's cast the net again.
How about this? I'll cast you retrieve.
All right.
And then you retrieve something edible and I'll cook it.
All right. That sounds like an idea.
All right, give me an athletics to throw the net.
$30.
Holy.
You don't make it so... Oh, wait, no, this is athletics. I'm sorry, not a percentile. My bad.
Yeah, 30 on a 20.
You throw this net with so ease and such,
That makes that look easy. I want to try.
like fabulous. It's just, if a seaman would see you throw this net, he would be absolutely just, oh my. You do it with such skill and finesse. Oh. Oh.
There is a no net one. I don't know what this is like.
That's right.
Oh. Speedy.
Roll again, because I'm going to burn in that one for that.
All right.
Speedy, you could have been my friend.
Do that one more time.
One.
Yeah, go ahead and do that one
Can you
more
do it
time,
again?
Speedy.
Speedy's my friend.
Please roll me another one. Just another one. You can do it, please. I'm begging you.
That's funny.
Literally, another one.
Yep. Try again, Speedy.
While this is going on, it will take, about a half an hour to
Well, it's better than
possibly get some fish in there.
I don't know which one it was from though. Speedy, try again.
He did. He got a 4.
No,
That's
that
one.
was,
That's from Gorgon.
He didn't specify a player.
Grogrin didn't specify for whom. And then, yeah, you got to specify for whom and then do the roll d20, Grogrin.
Bot didn't give it to Speedy.
Yeah, I just got blinded by the sign over there.
So,
I
about another
rolled
20
an
minutes or so.
83.
83. Okay. With an 83, you have absolutely no problem pulling this net up about 20 minutes later, and there is fishy fish all over the place in here.
I'll cook.
You can pick your selection from trout to bass to whatever.
I'm going to grab half a dozen of the biggest fish
All right.
and toss the rest back into the water.
Yeah,
Is
Yeah,
this
no
fresh
problem with
water
that.
or is this salt water?
Salt water.
this is salt water.
Well,
Okay,
this isn't fresh marsh.
Just saying, because salt water and bass
Yes.
and yeah, that.
Yes.
Lay down.
There is absolutely no problem grabbing fish out of there. You throw them back in there. The net's still in good condition, and you cook yourself some fishy fish.
And there you go. There's a good roll for you.
15. Not too bad.
All right. And yes, time for dinner.
Yes, it's now 5-ish to 6-ish. The sun's still decently in the sky. It's not nowhere going down. but the clouds coming from the west are starting to grow. Of course, it's going to hit Saltmarsh first, and then it will make its way over to you. From the sound of thunder and the lightning show going on, this is probably going to be a decent storm.
So
And-
we'll batten down the hatches and make sure everything's tied down a bit and weather the storm is my guess.
Yes. Tyr, give me 1 percentile roll one more time.
That would be an 8.
Oof, man. You still have no idea when this storm's going to get here, but you know it's soon, TM.
Yep.
A true Blizzard employee. Joke. Please don't. Oh God, I feel bad even saying that to you.
It worked though.
Anybody who's played the games knows.
You couldn't tell if it's going to be 20 minutes to 2 hours.
Right, but it's like it's coming. It's there. I'll see
Yeah, it's
it.
coming. It's coming.
Well, I think we can see that.
Yes, and from here, we're going to take our break, as it is 8 o'clock. We normally take about a 30-minute break, depending. It can go anywhere between 25 to 35, depending on who wants what wants who. We're usually no rush.
So yeah, we'll be back in a bit.
See you
See
guys.
you soon.
Bye.
And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I kind of lost track of time when I was upstairs with my boy.
We have returned to Dragons in the Camping Site.
Well, it's been a good stream. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you
Right?
No, I get my hour. I'm still taking my hour.
You get. We can go over. I don't mind as long as nobody else does.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So it's camping time, folks. You have successfully made a camp. The fire is roaring. The fish is smelling like fishy fish. And the storm
Nobody brought the beer batter?
Unfortunately not. You'll like it raw. Maybe charcoal.
Sushi?
Wrong kind of fish.
The storm is now looming. It is just on the border of the city of Saltmarsh, and the wind is picking up. You can see that it is a downpouring of rain coming your way, and there is quite a light show in the sky.
I'm gonna go out and play in the rain.
It's not raining there just yet. It's getting closer. It's coming closer. What are you guys doing?
Probably
You were at the campsite.
Probably battening down the hatches and waiting for the storm to come.
All right.
In the meantime, hopefully planning our next move.
All right. Are you guys gonna try to get some rest? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, if they go to rest, I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Rest would probably be good. I need to recover
Yeah.
some of my spells.
Sleepy time, and I will take my third watch.
I'll take
Okie
second
dokie.
watch.
First watch. Get me with that glorious D20 encounter roll.
That would be a 7.
A 7, huh?
Hey.
Well, a 7 gets you absolutely nothing except for the storm is now barreling down on you, and it's windy, it's wet, it's...
With the chance of fireball.
Chance of fireball.
And
oh.
fireball chance of seeing you.
My head
You
just
know
blew
there
up.
is. There is such thing as fire lightning,
Yes, there is.
Ball
Arizona
lightning?
gets it.
and unfortunately, it is not happening today.
Yay.
We're resting. We're finally at peace. Everything is good.
Dang it.
Did you have like DM advantage or something to do it again?
There was one a long time ago, but we didn't say anything, so.
I didn't.
No, he
I
needs
don't
to
do
keep
DM
going.
advantage for fireball because last time I did it, I fireballed and I almost killed my people.
Nothing wrong with
Can't
that.
kill us.
And there is now another DM advantage.
There's
I think.
another one.
Yep.
That's 2 of them now.
Oxy says do it.
She wants to see a
You don't.
fireball.
She
She
does
wants
have
to
it,
see a fireball.
Trying to kill us.
Chad demands it, apparently.
All right, I'll make you a deal. If you roll a d20, Loxy, and you roll a 20 in chat, I will roll again.
The 1 in
This is no
400
deal.
chance.
Oh, that's what you get. I gave my offer.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh! And
Quite the
that
opposite.
is your answer there, lady.
That's just...
Okay. It's wet, it's moist. You guys have made a temporary camp. It's not the best, but you can still rest through it.
I've been through
Encounter-
worse.
Yes. Encounter number 2. Please roll me a d20.
13.
13?
Yep.
What do I have on my sheet, actually?
Thanks for the cheers, Lexi.
Thank you for the cheers, Lexi.
All the corgis.
Oh, the corgis.
The storm has dampened a bit. It's still pretty rainy, pretty damp. Lightning is here and there. It's not as bad as it was. This is like 2 to 3 hours into the storm now. But you are still able to sleep if you are sleeping, rest or if you're resting, and so on and so forth. Encounter number 3.
I got
Me.
a 4.
You got a 4?
Oh.
Oh, something interesting finally.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I
Fourth watch, I would assume.
The sky is darkened from the storm, but the sun is now slowly going down.
Yeah.
I need who is doing encounter number 3 to roll me a percentile as well.
That would be 41.
41. All right. When you guys set up camp, there was a tree not too far away from you that was red marked. You're starting to notice that the red paint has a very faint glow to it. And it seems like as it gets darker and darker, the red paint is glowing just a little bit more.
Well, there is such a thing as a phosphorescent paint.
I'm just going to keep an eye on it.
So, to clarify, are we in a point where we're sleeping and taking these rests? Or, like, taking these?
Yes.
Okay, so... Okay.
They're
If you
sleeping and I'm
took
just keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Yeah, if I assume that since you're doing 4 watches, everyone's going to be sleeping for 2 to 6 hours, depending on what they needed.
Right.
And since they are doing 4 watches, the person who is on 4th watch.
When they get woke up, I'm going to point out the phosphorescent glowing paint mark.
Gotcha.
Hey, Jaded.
Are we doing
Hey, Jaden.
You're doing 20s. 3? All right. Once again, nothing of significant importance. It is now dark, and the sun has set.
See, that's what I was asking about. If we're
Yes,
if we're doing this overnight to sleep, the sun would be rising now, not setting. That's what I was asking.
No, it was 4 o'clock, like 4 to 5 o'clock when you set up camp. And most of you need 6 hours, correct?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I figured that within a 6-hour period, you'd be going from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I'm with you. Sorry. I was just not following.
Yeah. And I kind of, unless there's actually something that happens on the encounter die, I just figured that you guys will be sleeping and, if you notice something, then you notice something, but nothing too big. Everyone is rested. They are, if you have any spells and whatnot, you are good to go. You're back to full health. If anyone wants to sing a certain song of lullabies.
Not quite lullaby, but the one that gives 11 temporary hit points to everybody as we wake up.
Yay! Thank you.
I am going to go investigate the glowy tree paint.
And as you do this, you hear in the distance, doom, 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 tears just BP. The nearest tree that was glowing to you, now that the sun has set, is glowing pretty decently. You could almost use this as about a 5 foot bright, 5 foot dim.
So a candlelight.
Yes.
What does the ground appear to be like?
The ground seems undisturbed. You haven't dug up the stone or whatever would be the marker under this soil.
Nope. Does anybody have an axe?
I've got a couple of hand axes.
That would be an axe.
I left
I'm
my
half
guitar
tempted.
back at the base.
I'm half tempted to cut down the tree.
I can let you use my great axe, but you'll be sharpening it.
I showed Tyr my rapier. You can get started.
Axe.
Oh dear God.
Poke it to death.
No.
I mean, it's a
I
possibility.
mean, what do you guys
that-
think?
All right, I'll take my great axe.
It's a possibility that these are connected to undead life, I suppose.
And that's kind of what I'm concerned about. Is this holding the undead in, or is it holding something back that the island needs?
I mean, it might be the responsibility for the conversion of the merfolk to what do you
I do have a set of carpenter's tools. I don't know if there's anything decent enough to cut a tree with.
We'll just plane it until it falls over.
Hoff, you do have a.
We'll see.
You have a couple
We'll
of-
see. I was going to say we'll see if a tree falls in the forest if it makes any noise. Yeah, take my great axe.
Oof. All right. Well, if you're going to start chopping up this tree, give me athletics.
Oh, that's not terrible. It's not great either. Let's see.
Also, tell me where you're chopping this tree at. At the base, at the mark, at...
Probably at the base,
Base? Okay.
and that would be
usually about 2 feet up the tree.
yeah. So if the mark's how tall is the mark?
About 5 to 6 feet up the tree. So,
Okay, yeah, it'd be
Like head height.
yeah.
yeah. No, then I'd be chopping at the base.
Okay.
Let's see the 17 points or whatever.
17?
athletic. Yeah.
All right. You have no problem grabbing your axe and you're whacking away at this tree. And it's a decent sized tree. It's nothing like a redwood thickener or anything like that. You could probably spend maybe 5-10 minutes whacking this thing and you'd probably be through it.
Okay.
When you start getting to the
I'm a
point where
lumberjack. No, I'm okay.
when you start getting to the point where it's about halfway in and the tree could probably just be swayed or chopped in a different direction where it can land.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you hit that halfway mark,
Hey, Plague State.
Hey, Plague State.
oh, hey, place like, oh, wow, I goofed that up. Leg state. Not
Play steak.
play state.
Listen.
Play safe. The mark on the tree starts to dim. And I need you.
I'll
and
look at
everyone that
Tyr
is
when it
near-
starts to dim.
And
Want me to
I need
continue?
you and anyone who is near you within a 5-foot range to please roll me a con save.
I mean, I wouldn't be standing next to him 5 feet, within 5 feet if he's chopping down a tree.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'll say I'm too close.
19, 20, 22, 23. I got 23 for mine.
I got
All
10
right.
less.
You got what?
10 less.
13. Okay. Torlock, you seem perfectly fine as this putrid smell pours out of the tree. And when your axe strikes that exact center of the tree, you hear a kind of sound as it almost sounds like you just cut into flesh.
Oh dear. That doesn't feel like a normal tree.
Well,
It's a tree of unlife.
Tyr, you are hit by this smell, and it just floors you. It is an absolutely revolting smell, like something has been festering, bloating, decaying for days on end. And it makes you throw up.
yay, I hurl.
There is no more fish in your system. I said throw up, not motorboat. Or as everyone would like to say, the Nixon.
I am not a crook.
Ariel and Marcus, you see this, and you get a slight whiff of it. You're not too close, but you're just like, oh. A few seconds later, the mark on the tree completely dims out, and Torlock and Tyr, you feel something beneath the tree start to stir.
I mean,
Well, I think there's our exit here.
Yeah.
Something's moving underground. Let me back up. I'm gonna quickly vacate the area.
All right, how far are you moving away? Now, do remember, it is dark. You have the trees that do have marks, you can clearly see them in the night.
I was gonna
I
say,
have
we
dark
should still have the
vision,
campfire going.
So
Yeah, and the campfire's going. You're probably about 25 feet away from the campfire, if that.
So we got dim light at the very least.
Yeah.
I am going to hobble my way about 10 feet from where the tree fell.
Okay. And it fell over the opposite side of where it fell. It didn't hit anything else. It just.
and I'll back up
About-
about 20 feet.
All right. About 2 to 3 minutes later, you start to see the soil that the tree that you just cut down start to move.
Here, you got me
very-
oil left.
Yeah, it's very, very soft, it's not moving in a hurried fashion.
I'm going to continue to watch from my vantage.
I'm gonna pull my radiant mace out and have it at the ready.
Okay.
I have radiant shield.
I'm gonna unstopper one of my oil flasks and walk over, and where the ground's starting to churn, pour it all out.
Try not to
All
burn
right.
the whole forest down.
Yeah, you are pouring it on.
Oh, just
roots
rain, right?
and- Oh yeah, it's roots and grass and rain, so it'll burn. It's wet, it's damp.
Mhm.
Are you moving back after that?
Yep. And I'm going to take one of my other torches and light it from the campfire and wait until whatever it is comes up.
All right. Well, you don't have to wait too much longer as the soft, gentle ground, slowly being displaced, suddenly erupts in a forceful explosion. The roots of the tree begin to glow a very eerie red light. The ground that was near where the tree fell has begun to as well glow this red eerie light, and you can see that it's almost like tendrils slowly moving towards the other trees with marks.
Burn it!
You're gonna throw your torch at whatever the hole that's been displaced.
Yep.
In the ground.
Yep.
All right.
Hopefully catching whatever oils there is left.
All right. I will need you all to roll me initiative, except for that will go through. And as soon as I find what I accidentally did with my Chrome desktop, there we go.
It's so pretty. So nicely I rolled. It's so pretty.
The fire is enchanting. I could write a battle song about it.
You rolled just about as good as I did then.
I mean, mine's fair, but not great.
If we're dealing with a vampiric tree, I quit.
Right?
I just thought about that. I was like, oh, you know what? All right.
No.
Tyr, have you heard of this place called the Sunless Citadel?
No. PTSD, no.
I sing you a war song about the Sunless Citadel.
As you throw your torch... Oh, hang on 1 second. As I, once again, delete the NPCs that I had already ready to set up because I am special about doing that. Why?
No, boys and girls, this is not his first time DMing.
Why do I always do this every god darn time? It's like start encounter. No, I want to hit the delete encounter. Why does it hurt so bad? All by myself.
Hopefully that's just the tree that's all by itself.
I don't know.
The tree is dead now. Someone
Rest in pieces.
Oh, for Gabby, what?
I'll be bark.
You know it's exactly the same. It looks a little different from Gabby.
All right, Torlock, initiative.
The initiative would have been a 20.
20?
Yep.
Tyr.
23.
Jesus. Ariel.
7.
Marcus.
12. I rolled.
All right.
I rolled a 3. No. 6. Rain.
As you throw this torch into the hole that is erupted, and from the ground, the dust exploding up, soil everywhere, dirt caking the area. The torch hits the ground and ignites what little oil is left. And as the dust settles, you realize what you're staring at is not corporeal.
Well,
It is a shimmering ghost caked in red, eerie light. And anyone within 30 feet, I need you to roll me a will save.
I mean, I assume the camp
Nice.
is within 30 feet.
nice.
Can you specify what you mean by will save?
Wisdom.
Thank you.
Wisdom.
Oh, good. Good, good.
I figured, but I wanted to make sure that's what you wanted.
Yes.
My dice like
Did-
tonight.
Someone's got 3-5 on the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a 13 or less?
Negative.
Negative.
Marcus.
I made my save.
Marcus, you are
That's
frightened.
my save.
Huh?
That's my save.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
you are frightened for 1 minute.
Ouch. Can that?
Oh God. Oh God. If the save fails by 5 or more, the target also ages 1d4 years. You have aged by 1 year.
No, I'm 30. My barding years are over.
It's all downhill from here.
Well, looks like I get all the girls.
Marcus goes, no, I couldn't be. Oh, sunny.
For player knowledge, if you have a greater restoration spell cast upon you, you can reverse the aging effect, as long as it's done within 24 hours.
I have lesser restoration. I don't have greater restoration. No.
Oh well. 30 now.
Just like when it was
And
Bjorn's
you're
birthday, now Marcus is older and wiser and no longer smartest.
All right, we're now going to do initiative now. Tyr, it is your go. You are staring what appears to be a female ghost caked in eerie red light, and Marcus is cowering near you.
Looking for a walking cane.
Does it look like the fire had any effect on it whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
What about the roots that are moving?
The roots, which are now more like tendrils, are indeed on fire that are near it.
Do they seem to be reacting to the fire?
Oh, they don't like the fire. The fire,
Awesome.
not their friend.
I cast grease on the rest of the tendrils.
All right, grease is a 10-foot area.
Yep.
As you cast grease on, and it casts it and it hits. It's good to go, right? You don't need to roll it to hit, but then again,
There's a dex save.
I'm gonna attempt, but I guarantee you. Yeah, no.
Okay.
The tendrils within a 10-foot area are now completely on fire, and they are.
And then I'm going to look at the ghost. And do you have a name?
As the ghost opens its mouth, all you hear is an ear-splitting wail.
Oh, great. It's a banshee.
Oh, look, whales.
Quick, where's Captain Kirk?
Oh, he's back in 1980. It was the 80s, right? They really went to?
I'm pretty sure it was early 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where Scotty reinvented transparent
Plexiglass.
aluminum or something like that.
That's right.
That's all I really have.
All right. Your grease has indeed stopped the root/tendrils and that red area light from creeping any further towards the other red trees. You actually started to catch other things on fire, not as bad, and the tree that had the red mark on it is starting to ember.
I'm not too concerned because it's raining.
Yes. Torlock, it is your turn.
How far away is Ghost from the tree?
Where the tree fell,
Yeah.
it's maybe 5 feet from the base. Or the stump, I should say. If that.
And are the flames engulfing that red spot on the tree?
No, they didn't reach that part.
Oh.
The grease is on fire, but the tree itself is just kind of, it's wet, it's damp,
Gotcha.
it's flammable, but it's not like burning the house down.
Gotcha. Being as I'm pretty sure I don't have much that can really hit a ghost, I'm going to test a theory, and being that thing's red, mark was red, it was glowy, I'm going to hit said mark with my hammer.
You're going to hit the mark of the tree with the hammer.
Yep, with the flame tongue hammer.
Okay. Swing away, sir. I'm going to say you automatically hit because it's a tree, just don't roll me a 1.
Alright. Nope. It was not
All
a
right.
1. It was close, but not a 1.
Yeah.
Roll me a damage.
$14, 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage to the tree. How much of that was fire?
That would have been 7 points of fire damage.
Okay. When you strike true with that swingy hammer of yours, and it connects to the tree, the fire sparks out from the hammer. You hit that mark, you splinter the living crap out of the tree. Or dent, more like it. And you turn towards the ghost, maybe seeing if that has any connection to it. Unfortunately not. The ghost still seems to be there, still seems to be angrily wailing, and nothing of importance hasn't happened.
Alright, well, so much for that theory.
Hit
Have
it.
you guys got something?
Don't you have a second attack?
Actually, I don't yet.
Okay.
Scary.
Doesn't he get another save?
What's that?
Doesn't he get a save on his turn?
Well, it's not his turn yet.
Okay.
I am going
you-
to.
I was responding to Torlock. He asked what we're doing. I said, scary.
Oh, my mistake.
I am going to. Well, I'm going to rage.
Oh, this
I'm
tree is
managing
stupid!
Damn it, I don't have anything else I can hit with. And that'll be the end of my turn for the time being.
All right. It is the ghost's turn. The ghost turn towards the person who chopped the tree, which would happen to be Torlock.
Mm-hmm.
And she screams at you. When she does this, the other 3 just hear an absolute ear-splitting wail. When she screams at you, you happen to hear a voice in your head, and I need you to roll me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Right? Whoop. Oh, crap.
A wisdom.
A wisdom.
Wisdom.
A wisdom.
Like to diversify my
does a
words.
15 work?
A 15 does work. You do not feel, your courage and resolve and bravery isn't stripped of you, but you do feel like something of
This is a tad
existential
unnerving.
dread. Yes. And then with that, the ghost bolts towards you and will attempt to attack you.
All right.
And I need to roll this. Does a 19 currently hit you?
Currently, no.
Currently, no. All right.
Currently, no.
The ghost goes to swing at you with its right hand, and it misses. When the ghost comes near you with a contact, you feel a very dark and foreboding energy. Very similar to the energy. Oh, wait. No, it was Marcus that was hit by those weapons. Never mind. You feel fine. You feel good.
That didn't look good.
Yeah. And the ghost is now stopped right next to you. Marcus, it is your turn. You may roll me a wisdom save. Please try to get above a 13. You are no longer frightened.
I can fight.
Hey, Fathoms.
You may take your action as normal.
Okay. Well, do I fully understand what's going on after being terrified?
The ghost popped up out of a hole. She scared you senseless. You feel a little damp in the back of your pants, but you're good to go.
Okay, I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at the ghost.
All right. Could you please tell me what type of magic that is?
Enchantment.
Okay. And that would incapacitate, correct?
The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. And it finds everything hilariously funny.
Okay. As you cast this spell, it washes over the ghost, and it seems to have absolutely no effect.
So it's either doesn't need to make wisdom saves or it's immune to enchantment. Well, I guess that's all I can do. Well, my weapon is magic, so I will get up next to it.
Okay.
Oh, will you let me use my command word as a bonus action for my shield?
Yes, actually.
Okay, I'm standing 5 feet in front of it. And I yell Niken at the top of my lungs. Try to flashbang it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time you have said Niken at the absolute maximum loudest you can.
I've said it pretty loud into Tyr's face to be funny. But I've never said
Was that one time?
Okay.
Niken!
I'm like Harry yelling Expelliarmus.
Okay. Expelliarmus! Since this is your first time doing this will be the first time you see this effect. As you scream out Niken, you hear the words, "And so it is said," erupt from your shield.
I just said that. Uh-oh.
Everyone who is within 20 feet of you heard this as well.
I'm in danger.
As you see this hand pop out of your shield and this most brilliant and radiant of light, and an orb placed in the center of its palm, The orb shoots up into the sky as the hand reaches up for it. And immediately within the area, it's almost as if it's sunlight out.
So I just flashbanged everybody. It's like,
Holy cow.
Show me all, show me all.
do we get the tinnitus effect too? You know, the ringing in your ears?
No. The orb shot up into the sky and it's almost like an artificial sun is now over the island.
It's just there.
It is just there.
Whoops.
As you do,
I don't remember her telling me about this.
So much for stealth.
As you do this, the ghost shrieks, and the light pours down over the area, and the ghost starts to shimmer and fade away.
Yes, I did it. I think.
What in the world was that?
I don't know. I sort of made it up.
Now, in retrospect, if you were a civilian in Saltmarsh and you were looking out to sea and saw this, you would be like, it's 10 o'clock at night. Why is there this bright white / yellowish kind of orb light just
Like
up in the sky? It is intense.
Why is the sun out? It's 10 o'clock.
the intensity of like a nuclear warhead just went off or something.
Pretty much. Roll me a d4.
Is it still raining?
1. Now roll me a d6. Oh my god. For the next 6 days, anything that is within a mile radius of this acts as if there is sunlight in the area.
Whoops!
Well, so much for stealth.
Do you remember?
I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Do you remember what she called the shield?
No.
Nope.
It was the shield of radiant light. And it recharges at dawn.
Okay. I have metal shield of light. I don't remember her saying radiant light.
You wrote that down wrong. It's radiant light.
Oh
Well,
well.
your shield will be charged consistently now.
So I have a feeling
yeah,
we could fix all of these right now because,
Well-
you know,
Now, here's the greatest thing. All the red eerie light that was creeping across the ground has faded away.
See, look, I did it good.
are there other trees that still have that red mark there?
If they were glowing, you couldn't tell because it looks like sunlight out.
No,
But
no,
do they
no,
have-
no.
do they have
I mean,
red-
the red light, the red marks are still there. They're just not
Yeah,
glowing
they're-
anymore, correct?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are still there.
Do you think we need to become lumberjacks?
I mean, it's possible.
Roll me.
We can put
roll
all
me
the
roll me an
spirits to
insight.
rest.
Roll an insight?
Yes.
All of us or who?
The two of you, Tyr and Ariel.
15.
Okay.
18. 25.
Jesus.
I was adding 18 to 7. Leave me alone. I rolled an 18.
Tyr, you go. You know, these trees were probably, and she just goes, no, shh, just the trees were keeping them inside. Don't mess with the trees.
Okay, fine. I mean, part of me thinks what Torlock here said is true. If we cut the trees down, we can put the spirits to rest.
That's what I was thinking too.
Well, Mr. Niken boy just did that with one of them, that's for sure.
Well, if it's daylight and it did it to her, then maybe we can do it
That's
to the
all
rest.
Marcus do is win, win, win.
Oh, I should also point out that your shield is not glowing.
Uh-oh. Well, it'll recharge at dawn. Maybe.
Maybe. If we were get to dawn.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's.
Wait, it's kind of like dawn out right now. Doesn't it just like recharge itself?
within a mile range for 6 days. Of course, you don't have the meta knowledge, but I'm just saying, it's like sunlight. It is.
So I mean, it should charge itself.
Yeah.
I say Nican lightly, like Nican.
Nothing happens.
Maybe I broke it.
That's okay.
Might have broken.
But if I broke it, this was the time to do it, I suppose.
Hey, you know?
You kind of just metagamed right there. Like, I was like, oh, he did it. He finally did it. The boy did it. The lad, the mad lad. He can't cast sleep worth crap, but you know what he can do? Somehow
He
cast
can
the
sunlight
way and destroy the encounter in one go. The encounter that I had so much hope for.
I'll play you a sad song on my bark violin.
Please.
The
I need
tiniest.
it.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, we could.
As I said,
potentially-
it is like daylight out.
Well, let's go for a walk. I mean, there's no stealth left. They know we're here.
They're probably like, what?
You won't mess with us, we can create miniature suns. I mean,
Right.
go.
We can use that as an intimidation factor.
And
I don't know if I could do it again. The shield's probably broken.
Shush! Lie like a good bard does and make them think that you can put a nuclear bomb in their foreheads.
and it's probably the strangest thing too, because like there's like a mile of dead zone, it's dark out, and then you have a mile of just brilliant light. And so the people in Saltmarsh are probably just like, do we need a duck and cover?
I can just see LeFin going, what the?
But yes, you're probably maybe about 15-20 minutes away from the lighthouse. And when you look at the lighthouse,
They won't need the lighthouse for a while.
Nope.
when you guys look at the lighthouse,
We can
you
make
notice
our
that
own
there
lighthouse.
there are no lights on the lighthouse. Now, again, this lighthouse has not been used in many years.
But I saw something heading towards the lighthouse, correct?
Correct. I was just saying in the lighthouse, like the
Right,
beacon's
right,
not
right.
on, it's not lit, anything like that.
Did it go... So when I was looking at it, did it go around behind the lighthouse? Or did it go towards the lighthouse and just disappear?
The first thing that you saw was in the woods, running up the path, like running adjacent to the path in the woods. It'd be heading towards the lighthouse.
Okay.
By the way, the ghost, even though it was female, was it human female or merfolk
Yes, it was.
female?
It was human. Human.
It was human.
Female.
All right.
Well, at least we know one of the curses of the island.
Right.
I think we need to go check out the lighthouse and see what to do.
I gave it a whole new curse.
Might as well.
Just put all the curses on it. It's fine.
I'm gonna start heading toward the lighthouse.
Yep.
All right.
Marcus, hang on to that shield, because if it's darkness we're fighting, that might be the best way to...
I just hope it still works.
Good point.
All right. You are
Well,
going to.
wait, hold on. I'm what's what I'm looking for? Me and the magic weapon have an understanding. Attuned.
Attuned?
Attuned.
Okay.
That should reveal its abilities to me. Do I understand if there's a...
At dawn, it recharges 1d4 times. You have never
there was
used.
only one charge.
You've never used your charge more than what it's needed. It's always just recharged.
So it had one charge.
Yes, because every single time that you had a session, you've used it one time. So the absolute minimum that you could.
But it recharges 1d4 is my question. And I've
Right.
never rolled for it.
You've never used it more than once. I've been keeping tabs.
So you've been rolling for the charges.
If
you've
it
only
rolls
used
1d4,
one
the
charge,
minimum you
then
could
there's
get
no way
is
you
one.
want recharge.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I told you to write that down. It's 1d4 charges a day. Just like his wand is.
But my hammer is constant flame tongue, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
with the Radiance one, because we had it enchanted to do that just
Right.
constantly.
And I wasn't there for that one, so that's
The
what I'm
only
asking.
person who has a charged weapon is his shield and
Cheers, wand.
The wand.
Tyr's
is-
wand.
Tyr has, yeah.
Gotcha.
You have the wand of darkness and the shield of light.
Put them together, you got...
Yeah, I
Twilight?
wonder what would happen if he uses the wand and
All right,
Like,
I
it's
use
just
all
like-
3 charges on the sun.
yeah.
Or you get the whole anime thing where you got one half is giant blackness, one half is giant
Glowing light. He just starts spinning in a circle. It's just like,
The
so
giant
we're headed
disco
towards the
ball in the
lighthouse.
sky.
as you guys are approaching the lighthouse, I would say you're maybe about 100 feet away from it. You have no problem getting here. You can see there is a very dim flicker of light coming from the doorway. Oh, excuse me.
The door of the lighthouse.
Yes, it is closed. You can kind of see it flickering under the scene of the door.
Are there any windows facing the doorway?
There are 0 windows in this lighthouse. Just the door.
Gotcha.
At least from what you can see.
Gotcha. Well, if we approach directly on, we shouldn't be shot at by arrows. Suggestions?
I want to do at least a cursory walk around the lighthouse.
What about your bird?
You know, why do you have to be so smart?
And I'm also going to point out, like I said, it's daylight out, so I mean, you have a bright, sunny picture of this lighthouse.
I am going to rest up against a tree, and I am going to warg through my bird and have my bird do a flyby on the lighthouse.
I'll
Protect his body while he's doing that.
All right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You cannot. You can ward pretty much the bird, or the bird can speak to you telepathically. Correct.
Correct. I'm choosing to warg so that I can see through my bird's eyes.
All right.
Oh, I didn't
As-
realize you couldn't do both. That's cool.
As the bird goes up in the air and does a loop-de-loop around the lighthouse, there is no one on the upper layer of the lighthouse. There are no windows around it. And as the bird looks towards the lighthouse, you can see that there is a staircase that would lead up to where the beacon would be lit, and a staircase that kind of fades down into the tower.
And how decrepit does it look?
Actually, not that bad. There doesn't seem to be any loose stones. There is growth of plants on it, but it doesn't look like it is falling apart.
Okay. And where to expect how many people in there again? Was it 6?
You
said
8?
8.
Mm-hmm.
And how tall is this lighthouse?
The lighthouse is 45 feet tall.
Wow, it's only 4 stories?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'll just give you a number answer because you're a mariner. The lighthouse was built just to make sure people wouldn't hit the island.
Okay, so it's not so much for navigation as it is warning.
Correct.
Okay. Then...
I think the lighthouse that we went to was only a couple stories tall.
Yes, but it's built upon a cliff.
That's true.
It
All right.
depends on how high it's built.
Well, when the bird gets done doing its orbit around the lighthouse, I will have it returned to me.
All right, roll me a perception.
That would be...
Also, give it advantage as well. Sorry.
That would be an 18.
An 18? As the bird is doing its orbit around the lighthouse and whatnot, you happen to catch two men on the opposite side of the lighthouse. They have bow in hand, ready and notched. They don't seem to notice the bird, but they definitely seem to be ready to attack. As you guys were approaching from northwest to east, you would have not seen them. But as your bird gets a good look at them, they definitely do not look well.
And when you say they don't look well, what physically, what kind of description can you give me?
There is purple, oily pustules going up and down one man's left arm, as well as some on his leg. The other man's face looks heavily distorted and looks like a tentacle of some sort is growing out of his right side.
So it's like a precursor to Davy Jones's crew.
Correct.
Okay.
It's actually a very good way of saying that.
Okay. And there's only two of them?
There is only two of them. And both of them have bows in hand.
And they look to be waiting on us.
Correct.
Okay. So again, when my bird returns to me, I will report this finding to my fellows. They know we're coming.
Great.
Well, I can't figure that.
And there's two of them on wait for us on the far side of the lighthouse, out of sight.
Oh, lovely.
They will be attacking at range, assuming we get within range. And from their vantage point, we can't approach from the north or the south without being seen.
Did you find a way around that we might be able to utilize to perhaps neutralize the archers?
There was, well, I suppose. Was there any terrain features that would allow us to approach from the opposite side of the lighthouse?
Unfortunately,
if we were to walk the shore.
I'd say, unfortunately, on the eastern side, like I said, the two archers are the southeast portion of the lighthouse. The lighthouse is built near the cliff on the eastern side.
Right.
So you would have to literally walk from northwest to east, walk along the beach, and then there's a slight incline going back up it. Would be considered difficult terrain. Just scale it, and then you would run into them. Other than that, you can approach from where you are or straight west.
Well, I have an idea. Let's go back there and grab the other dinghy.
Why?
We'll approach underneath the dinghies.
Oh, and use it as a shield?
Yep. That way, if they try to shoot us from above, all they can hit is the dinghies.
Yep.
We'll just go up to the door, go right on through.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
All right. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a trek.
A starter trip.
It's going to take at least an hour to get there and back again.
More like, 15 minutes to get there, 5 minutes to get the boat back in order, another 15, 20 minutes to bring it back.
There was another dinghy by the pier, right? And the
Correct.
pier was
Yes.
closer?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the one by the pier, grab that one, and we'll use that as our shield.
All right. So it looks like we're going to become a mobile unit. We're inventing
Legionnaires.
the tank.
as you guys walk away from the lighthouse, whoever is in the front, please roll me a perception.
It'll probably be me. Nope, I see nothing.
You see nothing. All right.
I see nothing.
You guys walk for about 10 minutes. I assume you're going to try to stay to the cover of the woodland area, not take the dirt path back there.
Correct.
But as you come in view of the pier, and again, it's sunlight out, you can see there are 3 people by the pier, all of them heavily covered in pustules. Some of their limbs have been completely changed from being a hand to a tentacle. Some of them actually have more than 2 hands or 2 arms now.
Looks like
One of them in particular is very tall. It is almost as if he was a giant beanstalk. He is about 9 feet tall.
Nice.
With the pier...
Best way I could describe him is a tentally pestilent treant. But just 9 feet tall.
Gotcha. The pier should be well away from the arches, right?
Oh yes, you're 10 minutes away. Good to go. You're probably another minute or 2 from the pier, if that. You're coming down the land, like, so there's just that slight incline. It's nothing too hazardous.
To borrow the phrase of a very wise man, we have the high ground.
Correct. And you can see that 3 of them
I
are.
love you like a brother.
3 of them are at the pier, and it looks like they're putting something in the rowboat.
Well, we can try to ambush these 3.
Well,
Cut
before
down
we
on
do
the-
that, I'm gonna send my bird out to recon and see if it can tell me what's in the dinghy.
That would.
All right.
And this time I'm just using telepathy.
Gotcha. The bird has no problem going the 100 feet that it needs to look at the dinghy. Roll me a perception just for shizzle and giggles.
That would be a 19.
All right. The bird sees that they are loading what looks like 2 objects in the rowboat. One of the fellows who now has a tentacle for a limb looks like he's about to jump in the rowboat, and there are oars this time included with it. The 2 objects that are in the boat are sacks of some sort.
It looks like they're going to make good their escape.
Well, let's take them out and keep them from going anywhere.
Okay. Are we just gonna charge in? Fireballs are blazing?
Sure, but try not to hit the dinghy.
Don't say fireball. Krabby's here. You know what will happen.
I'm here. I know what's gonna happen.
All right. You guys could probably sneak down to about maybe 50, 60 feet away from him without having it too much of an issue. But as your bird did relay back to you, it looks like the guy is getting in the boat and he is about to row out. There is nothing short of just him disconnecting from the dock.
That's alright. I can still handle that.
Okay. Are you charging in guns a-blazing, or are you...
Well, I'm looking
Sneaking
for a
up.
consensus here. Are we just gonna run in or no?
Yeah, I say sure. I
All
don't
right,
see why
yep.
not.
I'm gonna beat feet.
All right, you're going to
Start
beat
running.
feet, and you're going to get about 80 feet away from where the pier is before they notice you. Just to make sure, I'm not metagaming. Nope, he totally saw you. Okay. All right,
Ranger.
it's time for initiative once again.
Huh.
Tier.
23.
Jesus. -1. Why you do this? The heck? For some reason, it's not letting me put... That is weird. Okay. Torlock.
Oh, that would be a 13.
13. Marcus.
14.
One more than me.
Ariel.
Sorry, what?
Initiative.
Oh,
initiative.
19. I thought you said Ariel, but I wasn't confident.
Alright, let me... 1, 2, 3, crunch. Alright. Everyone gets to go before any of them get to go.
Great.
Because I rolled a 2, a 2, and a 4. Tyr, you are first to go. You are 80 feet away from them. They all three are located on the pier.
I am going
the-
to make my full movement, so I'm within 50 feet of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Shatter on the dinghy.
I said not that.
Not the dinghy! Poor dinghy. First the building, then the dinghy. What do you have against wood, man? All right. It's a boat, so.
Well, it's a 20-foot radius spell, so I should hit the dinghy, the pier, and all three of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely no problem.
Torlock is super not
they get
happy.
any,
Torlock
they
is
get
just,
any
"You
saves?
idiot!"
They need to roll above a 15 Constitution.
All right. One save.
Yeah, we're gonna have words after.
I may be intelligent, but I am extremely impulsive.
All right. All three of them did happen to save.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually use my intelligence on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to have it just above the dinghy, so I hit all three of them.
Okay. That's also going to hit the pier as well.
That's okay.
Okay. Is it just above the dinghy? So that would also hit the dinghy as well, still.
No, if he puts it 15 or so feet up in the air, it's only going to hit them, and it won't hit the
I'm
dinghy.
setting it so that it will be
Gotcha.
centered on one of the so basically so that the sphere that it makes misses the dinghy but hits all three of them.
Okay, it's also going to hit the pier that way too.
But whatever.
And the pier is it doesn't resist with a 1. Roll your damage, sir.
I know I have another one. There it is.
It was like, wait, I just talked about these.
19 points of damage.
19. Okay. Ow. First off.
Fireball.
I mean, they only take half
Or
because they
shatter.
save.
It's just shatter. Fireball averages 30 for me.
Okay.
So they're going to take
That much.
9 points of damage roughly. All right. So now, as this shatter effect comes down and hits all of them and hits the pier just folds in on itself, just, and all three of them take a very short dive into the ocean below them. The two that are not affected by height completely are submerged. The one that is 9 feet tall still has his shoulders popping out. Shoulders and up.
Well, that worked.
He also took a
Thanks for
disproportionate-
not hitting the dinghy.
If they try to
All right.
hop on it, I will take it out.
All right. Well, at least we'll still have one left.
Ariel, it's your turn.
Oh, me? I'm sorry. I'm going to take my movement, move forward, and I'm guessing I'm within 60 feet of them?
If you move 30, yes.
Yes.
You'd be at 50.
Okay. I am going to Sacred Flame the one that is shoulders out of the water, the 9-foot tall one.
Okay.
And I believe that means they make a save.
You said it was a dex save, I think, last time.
Yes, dex
It
save.
is a dex save, yeah.
Is a 14 good?
It needs to make a 15 DC, so no.
It did not save.
One, two. It takes 10 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
Ouch. All right. The one that you hit with the Sacred Flame, it recoils a bit. It almost makes this guttural, wet sound from its voice box, if it has one. Kind of questioning that. And with that...
And that
that
one,
is
my...
your-
Oh, yeah, no, that'll end my turn.
Okay, Marcus.
So
There are 3 of them in the water. One's above the water, and 2 are swimming, like wading in the water.
They fell into the water, and you can't see their heads at the moment.
They went down.
You would know that they are probably within a couple of feet of the very tall one.
How close am I to the water?
You're 80 feet away currently.
God darn it.
You can move.
I need to see into the water. I need to see one of the 2.
Oh, sorry.
It's totally impossible to see them.
Just the one, shoulders up, the tall one, the slender man.
That was going to be such a good idea, too.
We'll blame someone who broke the pier.
Well, I would have done this if I could have seen them, like as they were going into the water or whatever. I need to be able to see them to do it.
Oh,
You can't see them. You can only see the tall one.
Fine. Then I cast Vicious Mockery at the one that's above the water.
Okay.
Hopefully, while he's laughing, he'll double over and get in the water.
Vicious Mockery. What does that do?
You need to make a Wisdom save. Oh wait, shit. Sorry.
You mean Tasha hit in this laughter?
Yes. Tasha said I slapped her.
Okay, wisdom save. It did save.
Okay. I moved 30 feet forward.
Okay. You are within 50 feet now. Torlock.
All right, I'm going to move forward with one of my hand axes readied.
Okay.
And being
Not
that
your swingy hammer of doom?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my hand axe at the tall one, being that's the
All
other
right.
one I'm not going to see. Because I think that's what, 60-foot range?
Yes, 30, 60.
You'll be rolling at disadvantage from this distance.
Yes.
Getting within 50 feet of it, right?
Yes. So you would need to get another 20 feet in order to throw it without a disadvantage.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right, so I will throw at disadvantage.
Nat 20. Nat 20. Nat 20.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'll just use the nat 20 that's on the table.
All right. You throw your hand axe with all your gusto, and it heads right into this guy's chest. That's somehow in the water, but somehow bobbing up and down. Like here. It hit him right here.
Wow. That's 12. Because this is technically called a crit, right? Because you took a nat 20.
Because it's a thrown, it'd be my dex mod, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So that would be a 15.
15 damage?
16. 16.
16 damage. Okay.
Mhm.
You successfully connect with your hand axe right into this part of his body. Again, there's that sound that. But he is still standing.
All right. And I'm gonna, because I can use my bonus action to draw my weapon now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll do that, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. It is now the 3 quote-unquote sea princes. You see 2 of them emerge out of the water. Now, as they walk out of the water, imagine Terminator. That's exactly how they come out. They have some wood splinters in their body. The gashes and cuts caused from shatter are bleeding black. And Torlock, give me a insight. Also,
17.
who was a 17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marcus, you were on the second floor on the ship, or I'm sorry, the subfloor of the ship when you had the first encounter, correct? Or were you up top?
Are you talking about like session 1?
Yes.
I
You
don't
probably can't remember.
honestly.
Okay. Someone. Oh, it was Ariel. I remember now. Ariel, give me an insight as well.
Yeah, he was with us on the top deck.
Yeah.
11, 18.
18? Okay. 18 does it. You remember that the black ooze that sprayed forth from the tentacle that you guys were fighting caused almost like an acid effect.
Yep.
So you recall this and you're like, oh, okay. If they're bleeding that, we should be nowhere near them when they die.
I will. Yes. Okay. Bleeding black is acid. Beware.
All right. The 2 smaller ones start walking towards you. They seem to be moving a little bit slower. Those who were within 50 feet of the pier, they are 30 feet away from you now. The large, tall boy, as I like to call him,
The nuke.
walks out. Yeah, he walks out of the water. He's sprinting, and he gets right up to Torlock's face.
Hello there.
Holy crap.
He does not attack, though. He just literally just charges at you. Tyr, it is your turn. We'll do one more round, and then that'll be it.
I am going to cast 2 spells.
Interesting.
I am going to cast as my action Shadow Blade.
Okay.
I am going to cast as my bonus action Booming Blade.
Jesus.
And then I'm going to step forward 30 feet toward the rest of the oncoming folks.
Okay. If you would be right in their faces if you moved.
Yep, but I don't have anything to do at that point.
Gotcha. It is now your turn, Ariel. Yeah, he's just like. Rah! He's Adam Driver right at this point.
I am going to cast spiritual weapon and place it in front of the 9-foot tall thing.
A slender man.
Slender. Great. And then I am going to cast think I'm gonna pass that. Spirit guardians and protect my party.
Okay. Where are you casting Spirit Guardians at?
Spirit guardians is something that emanates from me.
Okay, so you are currently 50 feet away, and you cast Spirit Guardians, and it has a range of 15 feet, correct?
Right, except for the tree end should be right next to us.
Yes. You were next to.
Slenderman, sorry.
Yeah, he's within it.
Right.
The other two are not.
Right, which is fine. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
And on his turn, he has to make a roll, correct?
if you are
He's starting his
cast
turn
something, you
within
can
it.
designate unaffected by it. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on its turn, or first time or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem.
And then I will attack with the spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how far away from the end that I am.
Oh, you are. If you are next to Torlock, it's literally next to you. But it
I'm
charged
not
at
sure
you.
where we were in running.
So you were 80 feet. Both of you moved up 50 feet, and then the treant charged at Torlock.
Okay.
So it is right next to you.
Okay.
If Marcus moved up 2, he'd be right next to the tree as well.
So imagining a line, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So spirit weapon is going to attack the tree end, Slenderman, whatever.
It's just whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
I will call it squishy, and he will be mine.
I'm just gonna call him Slender Tentacle Man. Slender
Does-
Tentacle Man.
13, I don't know if I had. Right. Oh, 13, where's my ability modifier? 13, 7, so dirty 20 to hit.
A dirty 20 does hit him.
And then on a hit. My brain is not functioning. I'm really sorry. So that's no, that's not right. Can someone help me, please?
What was it?
A melee spell attack. Does that mean that I add my 7 to that?
You add your wisdom to it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's right. And then it takes 1d8 plus my spell attack modifier.
Mhm.
So it takes 8 points of force damage.
8 points of force damage?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That I think is it.
All right. As you are striking this with your weapon, you begin to see that the black ooze is starting to pour out of Slenderman's body. Where you spirit weapon struck it, it kind of jetted out, but it was nowhere near any of you.
Okay. Yeah, great. That is my turn.
Your spirit guardians is when it starts or enters.
Yes.
When-
So on its turn, it will take the damage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Marcus, your turn.
Can I see the two
Because
people in the water?
I'm gonna do something.
They are. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I'm talking to.
Can you mute yourself?
Yeah. There we go.
Marcus, it is your turn. You can see the two people. They are right next to Tyr. 30 feet
Does it
away.
look so? Nobody's in deep water anymore.
Correct.
They're out of the water.
Oh, I'm in
And
deep
you are
water.
30 feet away from the two, and
Okay.
Treant or Slenderman is right next to you.
They're not in the water anymore. That's my plan. So, I will cast Hypnotic Pattern on the three of them on the shore. And I will put it so it doesn't hurt Tyr.
So you're attacking the two small ones.
Whoever was in the water, who came out of the water, there's 3 of them, right? A 9-foot tall one and 2 that aren't?
There's 2
The-
of them.
The 9-foot tall one is right up in your face. He
Yep.
dashed and
He's the
ran
one
into Torlock.
That ran at me, yeah.
Yeah, and then the 2 are right next to Tyr.
Oh, so there's 3. There's 3 in
Yes.
total. I thought
3
there were
altogether.
4 combatants.
Just 3.
Okay. Then I hypnotic pattern the 2 of them, and I do not. I place it so Tyr does not get affected.
Okay. The spell is 30. You're 30 feet away from Tyr.
I can definitely reach them. It's 120 feet away.
Okay, no problem. What I need to roll.
Wisdom for both.
All right. One. Oh, wow.
I shout to Tyr, look away.
One of them saves with a 20. One of them rolled a 1.
Okay, well, the one that rolled a 1 is incapacitated, has speed of 0.
It's done. It's like,
I like pretty lights.
look at my arm.
I take up a defensive stance against the one next to me.
Okay. You get an extra attack. That to keep reminding you of.
Does that allow me to cast and attack?
Yeah.
No, then I'll attack. I thought I had to make 2 melee attacks. I didn't know it was cast and attack.
Because I like to play fun.
17 to hit.
You actually do not hit.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay then.
You come to swing and it just wham. And
My
you're
spell
like,
just barely hit
wow, that is some thick skin.
or my weapon.
Great. Oh my good lord.
It is now its turn, I believe. It is.
Wait,
No, it's
time?
Turlock's. Turlock's turn.
He did everything. Is there still a net 20 on the table?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah.
There's no nat ones and DM advantage.
Yeah, okay, well. I'm going to go into my lovely little rage. There's my bonus action. And does a There's a 19 hit.
A 19 does hit.
Ooh. Alright. So I'm gonna add my pushing attack to that. Which is an extra die.
Is pushing attack where it gets knocked prone?
It has to make a strength save or get pushed 15 feet away.
Okay.
That would be 25 points of damage.
25 points of damage.
Yep. With 8 of it being fire damage.
Ooh. Now, as you go to swing your warhammer, you come down with it and slam down on its leg/torso area because this thing is looming over you. Your warhammer hits the flesh, and as it would squirt and jet out in the general direction of where the force was hit, your fire sears it and cauterizes it before it can come out and spray at you. You have found its weakness.
Woohoo!
As the weapon connects and does the 25 points of damage, you can almost see down to what you would assume would be bone
Ugh.
of this thing. It's still standing.
I made it strength save then?
Yes, let's do that right now.
Oh, okay.
It saves with 21, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm using my red
baby.
dice. The red dice to kill you. So it has not moved back 15 feet. It looks staggered, but it's still looking like it's in for the fight.
All right.
And with that, it is now going to be its turn, so it's going to take Spirit Guardians.
Yes.
So 1 wisdom save, please.
Yeah, you have to
I'm
make-
going to use DM advantage.
So yeah, you have to make wisdom save.
And with that one, it does save.
Okay.
I assume with a 19.
Yes, it's a 15 DC. But yes,
Okay. Because I rolled a 4 the first time.
but you
I
still
wanted to do
take
some
half
damage. Yes. What's the damage?
It's.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to find another D8 to roll. Look at it.
Yeah.
7,
Ooh,
12,
nice.
13. So 6 points of damage.
6 points damage. Okay.
6 points of necrotic. No, radiant.
Radiant.
Radiant damage.
All right. 6 points of radiant damage it is. The Spirit Guardian connects on the creature. Again, this black pustule ooze squirts out where it's hit. But it is nowhere near where you guys were standing. And now, the fun part.
Fun part.
There is a deep, guttural sound that starts vibrating from Slender Boy. As it begins to make this sound, its body starts to expand. And it starts pulsating and throbbing.
Exploding clone jutsu?
Exactly. Anyone who is within 20 feet of the creature, aka the 3 of you and up tier, you need to roll me a dex save.
Do I get danger sense with this?
If
Is
he
it a
can
reaction?
If he can see the danger, he gets advantage.
I was gonna
Okay.
say. Yeah.
Yes, you go into the recesses of your mind and you hear Ralph like, I'm in danger.
It's fine.
Oh, nice.
My dice don't want me to die today.
Okay. Everyone saved with a DC of 16, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone? Okay. Everyone is going to take... Ooh, I actually rolled decent.
Oh joy.
You are going to take 7 points of damage, since it is halved. Anyone who is wearing metal on their body, your metal is going to begin to corrode. You will need to do something about that.
Okay.
As this acidy black goo just shoots forward and this thing explodes. All you can hear... I'm sorry?
What the hell? What?
All I heard was some
what just
giggling.
happened?
It committed suicide pretty much.
I run straight into the water.
That's probably a good idea because you can definitely hear everything sizzling on you.
I run straight into the water.
Yep. Same here.
Same here.
Okay.
Just as
you
a quick question for you, DM. With the rage going, does that mean I take half of that as well?
This is considered... It's...
Because I'm totem of the bear.
Right. I would consider this...
Is it acid damage?
Yes, acid. So I don't know if that does that or not because it is
Yes.
not piercing, bludgeoning, slashing.
Totem of the bear, you are resistant to all damage except for psychic.
Okay, then yes, you do take half.
Okay.
Again, on the other half. So round it down, be 3.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And we
Yes,
have
but
11
you guys are all
temps, so that you're
sizzling
aware,
as you
so-
hear this,
Right. Thank you.
as it exploded right near you. I also need everyone to roll me a con save.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
I think probably nice.
I rolled a 13.
13. Anyone else?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Marcus.
14.
14? All right. Unfortunately, all of you did not make the DC. When the pustules explode, you are all blinded. Thankfully, you know where the ocean is, I assume, as you are staring right at it. You are blinded for 1d4 rounds.
Who's rolling the d4, you or us? Probably
That'd be me. Is 2 rounds.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yes, 12 seconds. Keep that as notes, as a mental tab. And with that, we're going to go with the 2 bandits. Oh, wait. Yeah, Tier went. That's right. The 2 bandits. Or not bandits, I should say. Tainted ones.
I did.
Tier, you hear that same melody playing within these two's bodies. As both of them start to throb, pulsate, expand, and explode on you. I need you to roll me a dex save.
18.
You save.
Yes.
You will be taking... Well, actually, both of them are exploding, so... It's halved, but then not really. 9, 10, 11. You take 11 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Your armor...
I'm wearing cloth.
Yeah, your cloth starts to sizzle. And you need to roll me a con save.
18.
You save. You are not blinded. As you see your friends running towards the water like 1960 hippies running through the flower garden. And that is where we will end our session.
No, we won't.
No?
We just got blowed up.
What happened? What happened?
We just got a fireball.
Oh, Jesus. And you're burning and... Okay. So,
Ront.
to appease
Ron.
Loxy, and to make sure everything is balanced, as Thanos would say, I am going to use the second DM advantage
I
for
won't
this fireball.
use that on Fireball.
To appease Loxy.
You rang?
If I roll a 20, I will have weapon witness it. First one's a miss.
Keep rolling.
Second one is a miss. No fireball.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for sticking it out the extra few minutes because we took a super long break because I lost track of time. We will see you guys this Saturday for Nerevis.
Easy, man.
A big thank you goes out to Syrinscape for the audio that we use, to our viewers for joining us for the fun and making this entertaining. Thank you for stopping by again, Z-Bomb. And yeah, you guys are amazing. We will catch you guys a little bit later. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.